Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between, yeah, it's all that. And we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to what's talk raps. You're listening to what's talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. Morning. We are live. I see our chat is already on that time. What a week. Lot of stuff on the docket to talk about. But this is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Homie Righteous Reg is in the building. What's going on, bro?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster, media man. It's Righteous Reg. It's Saturday morning. It's Grapsody Podcast. Cali boys are so up. And Philip Lindsey, Grapsody gang. It's a few solid Negroes left, but it's not enough. But the Grapsody boys are here for you to represent for them solid Negroes. And I'd like to let everybody know that it is the year of California. That's it, Phil.
Yeah, I definitely felt that way multiple times this week. As somebody who's not from the West Coast, I watched some of Camp Flog Gnaw, watched all of Tyler's set. I've said multiple times how I think the Tyler album is one of my favorite albums this year. That set, man, the way that crowd went crazy for him, bro. Like, the West loves this guy. He's one of the biggest stars in hip-hop right now. He's making incredible music, and, bruh, just the vibes from him out there at Camp Flog Gnaw, like, bro. Yeah, this guy's out of here, man. I mean, we've already had the conversation, but just watching him come out there and do Saint Chroma and how that crowd was screaming the lyrics to that song as soon as he came out. Yeah. Man, just great vibes. What a year for hip-hop, man. Love seeing it after we talked about hip-hop turning 50 last year and just the amount of great music we've got this year, the amount of people that have been inspired and motivated to put out great music, new artists, older artists. It's just been so dope to see, which, I mean, we'll get into some of the other stuff from this weekend, but you were outside getting mixy last time I talked to you.
Yo, Mixy Boys is outside. Very exciting. Got to see your all-time favorite rap, Philip Lindsey, and brother. Man, like I said, it was my first time ever seeing Lupe Fiasco, if anybody didn't know, live on stage. And man, like, he played all the records I wanted him to play. Like, the beginning said, like, he started, it was like number one Headband, Palaces, and then Murals. I'm like, this is like a Philip Lindsey set, I think. Like, this is crazy.
I've seen him perform multiple times, but there's nothing like watching him do the entirety of Murals live and like the breath control, like everything that comes with it. Like, I mean, Murals is incredible as a record on its own, but I don't know if you've ever heard him talk about the process of recording and how he just like recorded pieces and then just like put them all together. So he come and he has some stuff written down and he record that part and then he just kind of added it all together. So you get this big, huge record. This record's like 7 minutes long or something like that. But watching him perform it live is just different. Like I said, his breath control, just his command of the stage and everything. Man, Lupe.
As someone who does it and knows like what it takes to rap with no vocals underneath that, and you're just going bar for bar with yourself, yo, I was like watching in amazement. And so like it was a really dope mix of songs. There were a lot of people were there to hear like the Lupe, like, you know, the big records, the ones that made him a lot of money. All that stuff. Daydream. And so he saved a lot of that to the end, which I thought was dope. And like he mixed it up, man. It was just a really dope set. What an incredible rapper. And I just can't believe that you got us in here screaming that Chicago is the best city in the whole wide world. It's crazy.
Go.
When all of San Francisco is yelling that, I'm like, man, what a guy.
Listen, if you're from the city, if somebody asks you where you're from, at one point when I was in grade school, we all used to do the crucial conflict line, like CHICHEO, final ticket, here we go. But once Go Go Gadget came out, it turned to me always saying, I'm from the city in the best city in the whole wide world.
Crazy, man. Yeah, incredible show, incredible set. I was blown away. What a guy. It's been, like you said, hip hop has just been incredible this year. Everybody's been, I don't know what Hip Hop 50 did. It was like a combination of people were happy about the things going on. Some people were upset about the things going on, and everybody just harnessed that energy into an amazing year of music, and it's been on display at all different angles, and I'm just excited about it as someone who lives in it.
That was your first time seeing Lupe, right?
First one.
Yeah. Seen this guy multiple times. I was telling you off mic, the first time I saw him was a free show, secret show, that I got an invite from on MySpace. That's how long I've been a Lupe fan. And man, just seeing him live, and just there's so many things. I have so many great memories of seeing him live, but yeah, I probably should have went. He was just here maybe a week or two ago, but I find myself singing Palace all the time. It's one of my favorite records off the new album.
Crazy. Yeah, that one was when that one played, the crowd, I could feel that song is reverberating with a lot of people because you could just feel the energy as he's rapping it.
Yeah, love Palaces. How was Number One Headband live? Because that's also one of my favorite ones.
That's what he started off with, so it was it got the show kicking off pretty good. Pretty great way to start the show.
I would have been in my bag in there. I'm going to be the one. Fuck out of here. Ain't 11 minutes in, but I'm just trying to tell you, I'm going to be the one.
Yeah, he started out with that, but what I was telling you, he did Samurais, and then he played the Samurai remix, and I was, that thing went insane, man. Yeah, all the records that he played from the new album went super hard. He ended the show with Cake, and I was like, man, these new records go insane live, man.
That was kind of, yeah. That was kind of the same thing with the Flognog concert. He did a lot of the old records. Of course, he did a lot of Flower Boy stuff. He reached far back and did some of his really early records, but them new records were hitting, bro. When he did Sticky and Sexy Red came out, bro, he got a few on that album where I'm just he got one with that one. That's a banger.
You know what Lupe album I kind of had I've been sleeping on? He played some live records from Drill Music and Zion, man. He played a couple of them songs, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. I remember playing it, but he refreshed my memory, and I was like, damn, he had some records on that one.
No, I thought that album that year was extremely underrated. I was a big fan of the Naomi record on there. That's still one of my favorite Lupe records that he's come out with recently. The two singles he came out with. I like that album a lot. I thought you were going to say Lasers because I feel like when I see him perform Lasers live, there's a lot of songs on Lasers that are much better live.
Nah, when he did Get You Out of My Head, the Trey Songz joint, the ladies went crazy. I was like, okay, no, I see it.
Girl, I want you to know.
Yeah, no, the women was going wild. I was like, oh, all right, no, hold on a minute. It's like when I went to go see Nas, and everybody talks so much about how You Owe Me ruined his career, such a terrible time. When You Owe Me came on, dog, the place went insane. I was like, no, I don't know what they thought, but these aunties is going crazy up in here.
I'm still not a fan of Oh Me, but I wouldn't say it ruined his career. I just don't like this song.
It's not the best song. The beat is crazy, but when it dropped, they was going.
What? What is this, bro? Get out of here. I don't like nothing about it. I don't like the hook. I don't like Genuine dancing around in the video. I don't like nothing about it, bro.
On your feet.
That shit is trash, bro. I never like that record. That shit is trash.
Nas definitely went searching for one. He was like, damn, I need one of them ones. Where Genuine at? Genuine's like, I got you, bro.
You owe Genuine. You owe me. Nah, dog. I don't. I'm good.
Them 1999 producers are going crazy, man. Sometimes I run them back and I'm like, what was happening?
Nah, that's not. Yeah, that's on my list of Nas records I don't like, man. Oh, and I know so many people that are like it went off in a club, and I'm like,
Dog, same thing at the show. Like the aunties was jumping up and down. I was like, all right, look, I know why he did it, but it sounds crazy though.
Yeah. I did. I was talking about it briefly before before we recorded that I did listen to the Linkin Park album in full. Mm-hmm. Listen, man, they may got one, dog. They got one. This album is really good. I'm sorry. It's a really good album.
I'm like, stop sending me articles. Stop. I'm like, when I listen to this album just in a vacuum and I'm just listening to the new Linkin Park album, this shit is crazy.
Nah. It's really good. Like
I give you everything I have. It's like that. I almost drove off of the freeway when that song came. Like, I was like, all right, it's over, you guys. Like, I'm done here. Like, wrap me up, put me in a body bag. Like 2002, Reg is like, yes, he's jumping off of a building for this, you guys. Like, I'm like, would they did it, Phil? They did it.
No, it's great. I would go as far as to say I think it's potentially their best album in years. I would say it's possibly their best album since Menace to Midnight.
Honestly,
I really like it. Like Emptiness Machine is, bro.
Emptiness Machine is.
It is. I've seen certain people that say, "Is this a Linkin Park album?" That song is in its essence Linkin Park. There's so many things about it that are like Linkin Park distilled to what makes them great. Like the opening of it when it's just very like lo-fi and it's just Mike singing and then when the guitar hits, bro, they're very good and they've always been at this, very good at like giving you the lyrics and like making you think and get emotional. And then once the guitar kicks in, you're ready to jump out your seat and run through a wall. And like, bro, so when Emily starts screaming the chorus, bro.
When she comes in with the chorus, man, like that shit, like that's the first time where I was like, I could feel like remembering Chester, remembering what this moment represents. And she comes in screaming and just like, oh my God.
Yeah. There's so many moments on the album where I feel like she embodies Chester. Like it's very eerie. Like even how good her and Mike sound together, it's very close to Chester and Mike's chemistry. It's sonically very well produced. Very well written songs as well. And the Overflow record is, man, it's so different for their sound, but
it all feels like
excellent
Linkin
record,
Park,
man.
though. That's what, like, just listening to them, like, this is a Linkin Park record. Like, they embodied, they did what they needed to do. It doesn't feel like they're reaching for something or trying to create a sound or do anything. It's like Linkin Park went in and made an album.
Yeah, I really like it. People, of course, are welcome to their opinion because, of course, when you tell anybody on the internet you like something, be prepared for unsolicited people going, well, I don't like it. I don't care. Go to your timeline and say you don't like it. Like, and people get annoyed when you say that, like that you don't care. I don't express my opinion for you to immediately go, oh, I don't like it. Like,
right.
No way.
Right.
Stop being a buzzkill, man.
That goes into this what's been going on with Blue Sky and them saying that it's an echo chamber and like, oh, they only talk about stuff that they like. Like, yeah, like that's what like life should be. Like if I like this record and I just want to say I like this record, I don't want to be like fighting with the fool who doesn't like this record.
I mean, I don't mind conversation about things.
Conversation and is different.
I don't mind that. I don't even mind if you're just like, it didn't hit for me.
Yes.
But if it's just like, oh, I'm just showing up to tell you that you're very clearly saying you're enjoying this thing to tell you, oh, I hate it. Okay, great. Well, you can do that somewhere else.
Find somewhere to do that, please. Not over here. Please. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. Like, I know it's crazy, but they did it.
Nah, I love it. It's a lot of the things that I liked about Linkin Park when I first discovered this band.
Yeah.
Again, people are going to have their opinions, the whatever controversial stuff. Listen, I feel you. But the music is good.
I definitely feel you. It's crazy outside.
I know. It's really good. I was sitting like astonished. By the time I got to the end of it, 11 songs, I was like, nah, this is really good.
Yeah, big
Sorry.
heavy hitter. Like their slow songs are like there's one song where she does it's like Chester's here or like he wrote it or like what like it's just feels like eerie, but like really good eerie.
Yes. Yeah. I guess the topic at hand, because I got up yesterday and I saw the GNX video out, and I looked at the snippet. I was like, oh, he finally dropped that record we wanted him to drop. That was the snippet that he played before the Like That video. And I saw he had some more videos up. I was like, cool. Then I came back. I was like, wait, we got a whole album. he just he just dropped the whole album on us out of nowhere. No notifications, no nothing. Just complete surprise album. And I say all the time, not everybody can do a surprise album.
No.
You got to have a certain level of stardom to just drop music on people, and word of mouth carries it. This guy, the year he's had, people are just clamoring for him to drop music. At this point, as soon as he drops anything, it's going to be the most talked about thing on the internet.
Yeah, so, it's all the way up. I still haven't seen the music videos, funny enough. I was doing some work and I wasn't on my phone, and then I clicked on Blue Sky, and the first thing I see is, of course, the homie Aaron Busby. He's like, new Kendrick album? I'm like, I immediately threw everything off and went to Apple Music and turned it on. So shout out to the homie Aaron Busby, of course, informing me of a new Kendrick album. So I get immediately into it, and I'm just like, the thing that I love most about it, and the thing I think that's I've seen people turned off about it, is it's such a West Coast album, dude.
It's very West
We've
Coast.
been like recently, and especially with like this hip hop 50 and stuff that's came post that, they've been talking a lot about regional music and how it kind of died out, and like there's been like this big change of like, from any rapper from any region, like a lot of the music's going to sound the same, a lot of same producers, a lot of the same melodies, a lot of the same everything. There's been this recent resurgence of regional music, and like if you hear a rapper, like you know exactly where they're from. Kendrick Lamar has always done regional music. Like a lot of the core Kendrick Lamar stuff is LA music as fuck. He loves Tupac, as we know. He loves West Coast sound. He loves DJ Quick type sound. So there's always been that in his music. But recently, the last couple of years, it's been like, since he's in the position that he's in and he could do the type of music that he wants, now he's doing like, this is straight LA music, LA gangster rap music, that you're going to take it because of the position that I'm in.
You also have to give this the proper context, because
yes,
there were some lies told. And so when you come out and say, I get more love in your city than you.
Yes.
Really? Really?
That is some great context to have.
He had to let you know, no, I'm from here.
I'm here.
As I've been saying for over a year now. Nah, you just a visitor over here. I'm from here. I'm West Coast to my core. And so not only am I not going to let you get that off, but I'm also not going to let you disrespect Pac, and I'm not going to let you disrespect West Coast music and what we represent. Who even are you? You still haven't told us who you are. I'm letting y'all know every time I get a chance, this is who I am. I'm West Coast to my core. You're a dude that has been putting on costumes and representing every place that you either show up in or you think you can make a check in. Nah. No matter what I do, I can go over here and make this Rihanna record. I can go do this Taylor Swift record. I'm still West Coast, always.
I'm so West Coast. So you get to like the middle of this record, and there's this song called Reincarnated. And just a few months ago, we were very upset at Drake for doing an AI Tupac song, and people were very offended. And Kendrick Lamar is like, I'm going to do a Tupac song as Kendrick Lamar. This is how you do it. This is how West Coast I am. And I'm going to show the world that no matter what, I'm going to represent this shit till the end. I like, just like the way that he brought that sound, he brings that sound to the mainstream. Just like you said, Phil, like we didn't know this album was going to happen at all. And everybody in the world listened to a West Coast ass record.
Yeah. Also, you can tell that this guy loves hip hop. Like there's so much entrenched in this album. You can see his influences are across it, not just West Coast. He did the one mic flip on there. like you said, he did the flip of the Pac record, and his entire flow, his voice, his cadence, and everything. Man, it's Pac to his core. But also, it's not like he just took this chance on Reincarnated to rap from a perspective of Pac. No, he's rapping in that same style and cadence, but he's telling a story from different artists. Like at the beginning, it kind of sounds like he's talking about Jackie Wilson, and in the second verse, he gets into what sounds like is Billie Holiday's story, and then in the third verse, he comes back to present, and it's like all of those people are reincarnated in me, and he tells this great story about. He does this flip on the origin of the devil and all this stuff, bro. He's just on a different level. His pen is different, bro.
Complex. There's just like so many levels to that's a one song that Phil was just describing. All that from the perspective of Tupac also kind of surrounding it. Like, how does your brain even develop all those things into like, this is just going to be one song actually and representing, but he's always kind of had that storytelling perspective. And that's kind of the thing that people are like, oh, he's rapping a free the slaves type deal. And it's like, no, he's just like rapping with knowledge. That line kills me still. It's just
that line has aged very, very badly. I'll tell you what else aged very badly watching this. We don't ever need to hear Art 6 again. It's cool.
No.
You can keep that, Drake. We don't ever need to hear that again. And I was one of those people when Heart 6 dropped, like, it was all right. After hearing Heart 6 on this with the,
burn it down.
with the SWV sample, nah. Burn that single, burn that hard drive.
Burn that hard drive.
Keep it. Like, because Heart 6 on here, bruh, over that SWV sample, and if you know, you know, that record is produced by Pharrell. A lot of mad genius at play here. This guy thinks of everything. I mean, just the play on the album being named GNX, it's a Buick Grand National, and just some of the stuff that I've read, that's the meaning of this. Like, this is a guy that thinks very long and hard before he puts the music out. It's not like he's just dropping music for the sake of it. And I've seen people say, man, he's still mad. I think he's had stages of this. I think it's when he came out with Like That, it was like, well, how dare you even mention yourself among me and stop playing with my name is that we're all in the same category. Because I don't think it's just I don't like that guy. I think it's how dare you guys even consider yourselves on my level? How dare you guys consider yourselves the best? It ain't all of this, let's share the crown. No, it's me. And as he said multiple times on this record, I'm taking that and claiming it because I deserve it. It's me. I feel you, dog. It's me. There's only one. And
the record is continuously like, I went at the GOAT because it's me. Like, I'm not about this buddy, let's do this. Like, I'm about me. Like, this is Kendrick's show. I understand what you guys do and what you guys like, but I went and did that. I went and got the king's head because I'm the king.
Yeah. And not just because I'm insulted at the very idea that this guy is at the top of the mountain and people consider this guy the best, but also the tone of all of this from the very beginning is, oh, y'all got me fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
The entire album, listening to it, I'm like, he's still saying, no, y'all got me fucked up.
Y'all still got me fucked up. And I'm going to show, I love that you brought that point up of like, because he said that he's bigger in LA and Kendrick is like, I am LA, dog. This record is like, I'm LA. What do you mean you're bigger than me when I'm that?
Nah. You sure? Here?
Are you sure?
Here.
On Rosecrans?
Yeah, but what a year. I also thought back to him being announced at Super Bowl. This very much feels like him dropping an album that I still don't think is the actual album that he wants to drop. I feel like this is like some conceptual stuff he wanted to do. I feel like this is kind of like a mixtape style album. It's an album, but it kind of feels like that Unmatched album where it's like, oh, I had all of this stuff and I can make a full length project out of it, but I still don't think this is the album. Because there's so much stuff he left off of it. To put this album out and not put the biggest single he has on there.
Very telling. And I thought
I don't
that
think this is the album.
having Squabble Up, and like we had talked about like how he does these snippets and they sometimes never come out. Maybe he like had that snippet and was like, I'll put this song out. I have these other songs too. What if I just put these out real quick and drop that? That is kind of what it feels like.
Yeah. But with the Super Bowl announcement and listening to some of the songs on this, I was like, oh, it's not just like that, because I've been thinking for a while, what is he going to do in this set? Of course, he's going to do the big records. But listening to this and like some of the sound of it that fits.
How you
with
gonna add
bands,
more to your mixtape, dog? Like you already had this catalog that was insane. Like how are you gonna fill up Super Bowl? He's like, here's more before I even get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's songs on there that fit so well with like marching bands and like stadium music.
Yeah,
bro. One of my favorite songs. We were just talking about it before we came on here. TV Off is one of my favorite songs on the album. But like when you listen to that album, I was like, oh no, this is gonna go off in the Superdome, bro. When that horn starts playing in the Superdome, dun 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 dun, dun, bro. Hey, hey. Bro, that entire crowd, everybody at home, everybody in front of a TV, mustard!
Luckiest man in hip hop right now, DJ Mustard, sitting home with his feet up. He got a new drop. He's about to be like,
bro,
he's out of here, Phil. He got a new drop. Like he's taking that to the moon, dog. He's out.
Bro. Whichever Twitter account, my bad, I don't remember which Twitter account did it, because we've gotten multiple memes coming out of this within 24 hours. And that's how I know that this is big and that record is going to be big. There's no way I don't see that not being a part of the Super Bowl set. But somebody took that clip of Mustard at Camp Flognog where he looked like he was going to play the Crew Love record, and he's like teeing it up, and then he's like psych and goes into like that. And somebody took that and cut it so it cuts into him going, Mustard! It's so funny.
Gotta see it. I got
it's so
to
funny,
see
man.
it.
I'm surprised I haven't sent it to you. It's so funny, man.
No, Mustard came up though. I saw a little thing where he was like hyped on it because sometimes these artists he just did he probably had the Mustard beat, did the song, did that wild thing and put it out. And Mustard probably heard it for the first time when we heard it, and I'm sure he was like, dude, that's like just in a vacuum, that's hilarious. But what it's gonna become for him is crazy,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well deserved too.
Shout out to Mustard. Mustard's been a part of some big records for a long time, but he again the come up this year of not just that, but Not Like Us and just like what that did for him this year. What a year for him. What a year for what he represents for the West Coast, what he represents in music.
Yes, Mustard on the beat. But yeah, great point that I think that you bring up of Not Like Us is not on this record, Phil.
No. And I think that there's a very good chance that he's not going to perform that whole song in the Super Bowl. I think, of course, we're probably going to get the hook and everything. He's going to give us a snippet of it, but he's not going to do that whole song. He can't go out on that field and do a song about a pedophile.
Not on the NFL Super Bowl field. They Not Like Us is definitely the hook will be in there, but any of them other lyrics, can't see it.
I can't see him doing
it. You don't not put that on an album though.
No. The other part we should get into, because I have been adamant that I think he's going to bring Wayne on that stage.
Yes.
This week, listening to this album, this was the first time that I felt like Will Washington was right. Wayne is not coming out there.
Yeah,
listening...
I don't know. My whole perspective has changed. I was like, there's probably a possibility that this is going to happen just because it's New Orleans. Like, how you not going to bring out Wayne? But yeah, in this, he says that Nas is actually the only one that congratulated him on getting the Super Bowl gig. So, yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. Wayne was tweeting. You see that?
I didn't. What did Wayne have to say?
Wayne was saying, what the fuck did I do? Why am I in this? And if people want me to come outside and rap, then I'll rap. It's basically
hold on. Wait.
He felt the way about him.
He felt away?
But my thing was, I don't think it was a diss. I don't think that line was a diss
either.
I think he was just saying I fuck with Wayne. And so I think it's crazy that like I've been bigging this dude up. Like I listened to Carter 3 heavy,
Mhm.
and like I love Wayne, and he couldn't even be happy for me. He's so busy
Yep.
acting like I took something from him. And this is a guy that I look up to, and he can't even be happy for me. Like at least one of my heroes, one of the few people that I look up to, and Nas, he's the person that reached out and said he was happy. I don't think he's looking at it like, oh, I'm mad at Wayne. I think he's looking at it like, yo, I'm surprised that I'm getting one of the biggest moments in my career, and a lot of y'all are hating. I'm surprised y'all are hating.
And the fool that apparently got me this gig, his biggest rival of all time is the only guy that hit me up. Like this sounds crazy, you guys.
It sounds crazy. So, and make no mistake about it, I'm sure some people are like, well, Wayne is just in the feeling. At some point when all you're saying is this was taken from me.
Yep. That means something. If I'm Kendrick Lamar,
that sounds like
means
hate.
You're saying, yeah, that means you're saying I shouldn't have it. That means you're saying what I should have. You should have my spot. And no, you shouldn't have my spot. I got this spot.
Bro, that sounds like
again.
Hate,
it's still up. I'm still trying to be the best rapper, and you supposed to be the best rapper of all time. It's still up for any rapper, you know.
Yeah, but there was a lot of other stuff said there. There was a very pointed jab at Andrew Schultz, which was well deserved, I think. By extension, it was some kind of shots at the black podcasters that he was sitting on their podcast making that joke with that did not check him at all on that. Some other people that have relationships with him that never said anything as well.
That's pretty pointed.
Yeah, take that as you will. There was a lot of things said on the record. If we're just we're here breaking down, like, you know, at one point he was like, nah, you know, at one point it was, you know, fuck that dude. Now it's fuck them plural. There's a lot of tone you can take from that. I think he's also making the point still at this point, like, hey, if you over there on that side with him, I don't mess with you too tough.
This Wayne thing. So Wayne, what do you think Wayne goes to the booth?
No.
Because why would he? He shouldn't.
He shouldn't. But I almost feel like even if he does, because Kendrick has a respect level for him, I don't think that he wants to do that with him.
No.
But I also think at this point in his career, Wayne is not the Wayne he was 10 years ago.
Correct.
And I don't think he want that smoke.
I
don't think he want to smoke at all.
He saw what happened. Like, he was standing next to the guy. I don't think that's the best idea. But like, if you're Wayne, Phil, and you feel like they took something from you, and you do feel like this was your opportunity, and then you listen to this album, and this fool's like, well, why didn't you congratulate me? I mean, I'm not mad at him for feeling a type of way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna open that Pandora's box, Wayne. But
like you said, the respect level, I don't think it'll happen because on both ends, like I think Wayne's gonna remember, like, this guy's done nothing but big me up his entire career. There's nothing he's done to disrespect me. I feel, and I feel like the same way as you. I don't think that this was a diss. I think he was saying, like, dog, like, I'm the fucking huge Lil Wayne fan. Like, I was gonna be in your place. Like, I was gonna give it up. I was gonna bring you on stage, dog. Like, what happened here? Like, I don't understand how this turned to you're on stage crying, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. But yeah, overall, just great album. I've listened to it about 4 times now. I listened to it this morning on my way back to record, and just great music. Like I said, the TV Off record is one of my favorite. Reincarnated. Sometimes we hear the snippet from a song, and so I didn't know if Squabble Up would live up, because we've all been walking around doing a woke up looking for a broccoli. And so when I heard the actual whole song, I was like, oh, nah, this is fire. Hate.
That's an LA ass song, Squabble Up, man. It's called Squabble Up. Niggas in LA be squabbling up. Like, that song is gonna get dangerous.
Yeah. Bro, Hey Now, man.
Hey Now
is crazy, bro. The production on Hey Now, like, Hey Now,
the amount of times that Kendrick like switches to a completely different thing is it's insane.
Yeah, the Luther flip he has on there, just great album all around. The Dodger Blue record also, it's just too many records on there from start to finish. It's just a great album. Yeah, very West Coast influence, like the even like the Latin stuff on there, of like the singer on there. Very West Coast.
Cali Boys are up 5 million points, you guys. Please catch up. Like, Kendrick Lamar has been representing us for us pretty heavy. Dodgers going to be in the Super Bowl. Like, very exciting. But yeah, great album. Great. Like I said, I've been seeing people that are like, the production, I don't really like it. And like, I understand. It's like a regional ass record, but like, as someone that's out here, it feels good.
Nah, bring back regional music. Bring back repping. Well, I was about to say bring back repping your set. You gotta be careful when you say that.
Yeah, please be careful.
You gotta be a little bit careful. But nah, bring back repping where you're from. If you followed this podcast from day one, I am a guy that at every point says my city is the best city in the world. So I respect it.
Facts.
Like, I respect it to the utmost.
I mean, we came in talking about Lupe and that song and that being in San Francisco. And then the next day, Kendrick's like, nah, Kendrick saw us at that San Francisco show doing that best city in the whole wide world shit. And was like, y'all in California doing that? Listen to this.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some people that I've tuned in that are like, oh, we're still doing the music talk. When I did the SmackDown post show last night, there were people like, yo, like I kept seeing in the chat people doing the mustard meme. Like, bro, this thing is taking over. I was sitting down at breakfast with my family eating, and like they were talking about it. Like, this is how I know that this has been Kendrick's year.
Yeah,
it's Kendrick's world. We're just living in it, bro.
Honestly, I didn't know we are gonna finish up like that. I thought it would be closer. We'd get an album closer to the Super Bowl, but I'm honestly maybe on Phil's side thinking like there might be another one coming. There might be more coming. I do think there's another album coming.
I think another album's coming probably next year. I think this was, let me give y'all a taste, at least put out some new music going into the Super Bowl set. I got some more stuff that I can give y'all in the meantime, but I definitely don't think this is it. I think there's another album coming.
Beyond Not Like Us, do you think any of that other stuff is gonna live on an album?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of not sure if any of that stuff is gonna make the album. I kind of think that all of the diss tracks were its own thing. I can see him just coming with an album and that's part of the reason why I think he did this quick album too, to just like get all this beef stuff and his reactions to everything afterwards out of his system. So when he does make an album, it's going to be conceptually about something completely different.
That makes a lot of sense. So this is just like, all right, you guys, I'm going to address all of this. Here's everything you want. And next time I see y'all, we're going to be moving on.
Yeah.
Unless
he's still mad at something else. But if he just randomly want to give us some more music before this year ends, I ain't mad at it. Again, what a great year for music. I've been having a blast just listening to new music.
It's amazing. Every weekend's been great.
Yeah, I feel like I can't just be like, oh, walking around. Like at one point I was like, nah, this Common and Pete Rock. And then it was like, nah, this Lupe album has me in a chokehold. Then it was like, oh no, this Freddie Gibbs is incredible. It's like all of these albums I keep going like, this is, bro, we're just getting so much good music.
Dog, last night, the same time, new Boldy and Harry Fraud dropped, and I haven't, like, Kendrick. I can't switch off of Kendrick.
I haven't heard it at all. But yeah, send us in your super chats if you want to let us know what wrestling you watched this weekend. If you're looking around like, we're still talking about music, huh? If you want to just let us know what music you've been into this year, what you're hooked on. Also, send us your Humper Chats, humperchats.com/Fightful, where we get a bit more piece of the cut. But whichever way, appreciate your support as always.
Yeah, send in your super chats and let us know what your favorite condiment on hot dogs. Mine is mustard.
Nah, when I seen McDonald's drop the packet of honey mustard, I was like, yo, this is taking off.
It's already out of here, Phil. It's been one day. So Somebody's about to make a lot of money, bro. DJ Mustard.
Bro.
I'm so excited for Mustard, man. He's having such a great time. When he was on stage at the pop out, and he just looked like he was having the best time of all times. Like, thank God for Mustard, man. Mustard. All right, we're gonna get into some super chats. Of course, appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Tenruza says, I'm gonna just get through the hip hop ones and we can move forward. Seeing Snoop say K Dot took the crown from him is huge. Snoop's tweet about the edibles is hilarious. You seen Wayne's tweet? Road to Super Bowl about to be heat. Snoop's tweet was hilarious.
Hilarious. I think that's what makes the Wayne thing look even funnier because it's like, nah, he could have easily taken that away. He was like, nah, it was edibles, bro. I don't want no smoke.
Bro put a disclaimer on his own tweet.
I love Snoop, man.
He's GOAT, man. It's Snoop Dogg. He can do and say anything that he wants. The homie Darian Pittman with a very generous super chat says, bless up, fellas. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week. Kendrick dropped one hell of a project and a beautiful way to close out a banner year. Every white guy on Dynamite was extremely yellow. Much love.
Yeah, we might have to have a conversation about these tens, bro. It's getting a little out of hand.
What's
man.
going on? Like, there ain't like a producer that's right there before they go out. Like, what's up with y'all tans? Like, we got to have a house meeting, y'all.
It's getting out of hand, bro.
Yeah. The homie Chi-Town Spurs says, been to 2 Nas shows. Both times he did Oh Me and Uchi Wally back to back. Stone Cold level pop from the crowd both times.
Nah, acting like Uchi Wally is the glass break is crazy.
Those 2 beats strung together is hilarious, dog. Little tongue thing. Do that little thing with your tongue ring. Uchi Wally Wally. That's so funny, dude. The homie Tenruza says they saying it's a mixtape, another one coming. Show 2 cars and only focused on one. Think we getting DJ Head. Think we getting more. DJ Head had great reactions. Classic beats.
Nah, DJ Head been outside, bro. Shout out to him. I saw him at Complex Con. He was getting his wrestler interviews on.
Yes.
That was fire, bro. I saw, of course, Rosenberg got some interviews on. Had a controversial CM Punk quote in one of the videos that's up from Rosenberg. I expect no less when you get Punk interviews online. That's usually what happens.
Yeah. What was it controversial? Is that a controversial thing for him to say? When you understand what he's saying?
It depends on who you're asking.
Yeah, okay.
That's my best answer to it.
Yeah.
It depends on who you're asking.
Touche. Tenruza says J. Cole, hilarious timing, man. Might delete that one too. What J. Cole did?
I still can't believe that was nominated for a Grammy, by the way.
Yeah, what? Like, I don't really.
And I like that album, but I don't think it was one of the best albums this year.
Yeah, like, I like that album a lot. I think he done a lot of good. There's some dope records on there for sure.
Pie.
Like, it doesn't even feel like that's like an album. Like, I feel like he put like a mixtape, same type of thing. Like, here's a mixtape. Yeah, so I was confused. There's some albums that came out in hip hop this year that are real classic albums that deserve to be up there.
Yeah, I think the Vince album or the Schoolboy album should have been nominated instead, or even a Lupe album. I think all 3 of those albums are better.
Right. R. Curtis says Vince, Tyler, Kendrick really putting on for Cali. Yeah.
Now I really love the Tyler album, man, and the Vince album. I've been listening to the Lil Homies record a lot, man.
Yeah, this the regional thing is really going off with all 3 of these guys. The rest of the TDE guys, the Absol album's dope, really regional sound. The Schoolboy album, Blue Lips, regional sound on that too. It's like really dope to be living in that in Cali.
Yeah, I'm randomly sitting somewhere all the time just thinking, life's hard, but I go harder. Life's hard, but I go harder.
Kelly boys, I'm telling you, we up. And then Tenruza says, Dot dropped at 4 a.m. here in Australia. Didn't get back to sleep. Also, guys, talk music as much as you want on a week like this. Love you guys. So much fun.
So you literally woke up looking for the broccoli?
Philip Lindsey's. He's on today, you guys. He's ready. Should we get into the Humper chats that are about music and then maybe
I just saw another one that popped up in our super chats. Like I just saw Earth Gang at the beginning of it, so I imagine it was about music.
Oh yeah. T Daniel Barber, shout out to T Daniel Barber, says Earth Gang dropped a dope album, not for nothing. Earth Gang consistently has put out great. I don't know when they have dropped a bad one, honestly, at this point.
Yes.
And it's just, again, so hard to make time for all these records, man. It's like amazing for the world. I wish I had more ears.
Trying to see. See if there's anything in here music related.
They might just want to get into the wrestling, which I feel them.
Life hard, but I go hard. Okay, here's one from Tony P. He says, I haven't gotten to listen to GNX yet, but I will on my way to see my uncle with my dad for Thanksgiving. I am on this watching some Japanese shows. I like historic crossover. Historic crossover I missed. Also, let's give it up for Dan Jones for falling into $11 million. Hey man, I ain't knocking him getting the bag, dog.
Anytime somebody get a big bag, just well deserved these days.
I got no hate for you. I think that's all of our music Humper chats.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, and then Just Ricardo says, new Megadeth ruled. Hi, boys. Have you heard the new Megadeth?
Can't say I'm a Megadeth fan. I'm not a big metal fan. Like, there's some of it that I can tolerate, but I'm not a big metal fan.
Yeah, same here. I'll go to a show and rock out, but
listen, if music is dope, it's dope. Hey, speaking of, shout out to that guy Shaboozey. When we say out of here, that guy Shaboozey is the fuck out of here, bro. Like, one of the biggest songs in the world right now, forcing other outlets to give him his credit, even if they can't get his name right. That's all right. Give him his flowers, give him his awards. Well deserved.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this phenomenon too much, and then I started seeing a lot of stuff online and seeing him having his song #1 and getting all these accolades. And then I started going to karaoke, and everybody was doing. I was like, "What is this song that you guys were doing?" And it's so out of here, Phil. They love that shit.
That guy, bro, out of here. Just to put this in context, at some point when Like That was one of the top songs in the world, Shaboozey was #1. When all of this Kendrick stuff was dropping, he was still in the top 5 records in the world, bro. This guy had.
So every time you see Like That, it's still like Shaboozey's like right there. He's like, no,
it's somewhere in a conversation with that other record that's been everywhere. You know, so I'm talking about. I'm drawing a blank on it.
I don't know the names.
I can't think of the artist's name, but like I'm sure if I like sung it, you would know it. But Shaboozey's been huge this year. Had the look from Beyonce was on her album. What a year for him.
Yeah, incredible. In a space that they do not want him in.
Hey man, they gotta give him his credit though.
That's a fact. You got a hitter, you got a hitter.
He got a hit.
Man. And these are white people. They loving it. Like when you got one of those, you out of here.
Yeah, that's why I don't want people to get this wrong, because people will be like, "Oh, well, the awards, did him dirty, or they didn't get his name right." Listen, that song getting played out, nah. Those people over there, they love it. It ain't just black people loving this record. Nah. He got one. He got one, dog.
They get some drinks in them. I'm like, oh no, they fucking with this heavy, Phil. This ain't a joke.
Nah.
At first, I was like, I don't know what this is. And then I started cheers and slapping my glasses on people, too.
Make no mistake. We account for a lot of like music that ends up blowing up, but you don't make it that high up the charts if it's just us that likes it.
Mm-hmm. Just us hits. But when it crosses over, when it's a crossover, full crossover, and they don't care, it's over. And it's a full crossover, brother.
Yeah.
I seen a bar full of people going hammy. I was like, wow, this is different.
Yeah. One of the biggest singles of this year.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to him. Because, again, that's hard to invade a space.
Yep.
Let's get into some other super chats, and then we can start talking some wrestling. Our homie Deontay Soignier says, somebody got to do it. All love, boys. I want to hear all the thoughts and Phil's thoughts on SmackDown. Full gear today. We lit. Mina exists. We winning. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, Mina been outside, bro. I keep, man, listen, Mina is super over, man. Like, I keep seeing more and more that people love Mina.
Dog, she does a 30-second bit on Dynamite, and all the rest of the post show with Denise is just about Mina. I'm like, dog, she is over, and she don't be on TV for a long time. All the super chats are about her, all the tweets and skeets are about her. Like, she is over, brother. It still don't. The skeets thing still don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hear it out loud, I feel you.
I just think the wording when you're saying the skeets are about her, that sounds crazy.
The skeets are about her, man. Like, a lot of skeets about Mina. A lot of skeets towards me. A lot of skeets for Mina. A lot of skeets for Mina. Skeets for Mina. That's a shirt.
I don't know if you should let that happen.
That.
I don't know. That sounds crazy. I don't think they can put that on a shirt, dog.
Skeets for Mina can't be a thing like Blue Sky are trying to get it over. Because everybody's skeeting for Mina. Everybody. I stay skeeting for Mina. Mina. Skeet. The homie Eloquent says, Claudio low-key MVP of Death Riders.
Nah, Claudio has been on his shit, bro. That match this week, it was a Darby match, which Darby never ceases to amaze me how
Darby is crazy.
He can come out there and have a match with somebody and it turns into one of my favorite matches. But bro, Claudio beat that man down. And I kept thinking, because we've seen so many of these style of matches with Darby, I thought Darby's gonna mount this comeback. Mm-hmm. No, he just unceremoniously beat this guy.
He did not mount a comeback. At one point, after he did the press slam on the table, I was like, all right, Darby's going to come back, do that mountain thing, hit the code red, and we're going to be into this. And Claudio was like, no, we are not. This is over.
Not over here.
Claudio dragged that man. But yeah, the best thing about Darby's one of the best TV wrestlers of all time at this point, because all of his matches have such a distinct, exciting, unpredictable feel, but he just really plays into whatever wrestler he's in the ring with and makes their strengths even bigger. And like I'm thinking of the match he had with Takeshita on TV. That was amazing. And he like really played to Takeshita's strengths. Like, this was a Claudio match, but Darby doing what he does with his body and his will just like made it into something insane.
Yeah, great match. Two very talented wrestlers.
Super talented. And Claudio, he's just like, I love that at this point he's still amazing and one of the best wrestlers in the world. And the little things that he does are exceptional. Like, he doesn't do anything out of this world. He does like old school wrestling moves and they're amazing.
Yeah. Deontay, don't say y'all, because I was sitting here the whole time letting my guy get his shit off, but I was just like,
what happened?
I'm not in there. Because he was like, bro, why? He was like, y'all are worse than me at this point. Listen.
Oh, the skis thing.
I was just like, nope.
You're not in for skis for Mina?
Nah. That on a shirt, that sounds wild.
On a shirt,
that sounds wild.
On a shirt sounds crazy. Skeets for Mina on a shirt. But they was fighting me when I tried to change it. Somebody was like, this is what they've always called it. I'm like, why are you? Leave me alone, dog. It still sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Tenruza says, Full Gear, Omega return, a very fun week.
just saw something that was very funny.
Van Twin Blaze says,
I can't respond to it because it'll make it worse, but just very funny.
You gonna get it? You gonna go for it?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think I will.
Fair enough. Van Twin Blaze said, Phil, read my humper before Tony's.
Yeah, I'll get back to Humpers in a sec.
Totally. Bosco says, woke up with broccoli and mustard. Had it on repeat.
Yeah. Hopefully you didn't have those two things together. They don't belong together.
Dude, I used to work with this guy that was his lunch. He was on like a he was trying to like eat healthy, and so he would warm the broccoli up in the microwave. It would smell awful, and then he would slather it in mustard. It was just like, what are you eating over there, big bro?
That sounds terrible.
Mustard. Laurent Ford says CMA's did Shaboozey dirty. Hope he wins a Grammy. He has to win a Grammy.
I hope he does too. He deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, what y'all expect with the CMAs? They don't want him over there. And then Tenruza says, want to see a wild collab with Slash and Dot ode to Michael Jackson. Well, Slash is half black, so if people didn't know.
Would love to see it.
With that hair. That's all of our super chats for now. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you guys. Got a bunch of humper chats. Van, I hope that your humper chat is at the top. So that when you're saying read this one, I don't have to go look for it. But if you want to be like Van Twin Blade and Tony P, humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yes, sir. I keep looking at our little what's on our show today, and the first line is just like, what?
Crazy. Van Twin Blade says, Glory Pro this Sunday. Happy birthday to me. That's right. Happy birthday, Van Twin Blade. Van Twin Blade. Shout out to the homie. Happy birthday. He says Matt Fatchett versus Myung Jae, Lee Blair, Onyx versus Amina. You gotta put some comments in here because you're like completely throwing me off. Like I keep wanting to add these words together. Belmont Dan the Dad. Dan the Dad. Tootie / Moses. St. Louis Dream Team versus Shane Boucher. Jay Marston, Solomon Taboo, 3 versus 3. Raheem De La Suede, boy, I'm struggling, boy, versus Warhorse. I'm struggling. I'm struggling, boy. Jake Parnell for the crown. I saw Warhorse on something. I was like, wait, that's Warhorse? Mm-hmm. He's completely changed the look. Yeah, now he switched that flow up. He Jake Parnell now. He got the black glasses, got the black. You know, when they switched up, they all black now. He got the slick back ponytail. He looks kind of like a 90s kids movie villain. It's pretty good. Pretty good. He looks like Joe Pesci in the Moonwalker movie. He has like the sunglasses and everything. He has like the slick back hair. And it looks very similar to Joe Pesci in that movie. Moonwalker. Y'all don't know about Moonwalker, man. Bro, that video game, listen, when I date myself a little bit, but when we used to go skating and like all arcades in there, I always ran straight to Moonwalker. I remember my dad was so mad. He got me a Sega Genesis. I remember he got me a Sega Genesis for Christmas, and there was 2 games. There was Pitfall and the Michael Jackson Moonwalker. And I remember he saying, what game do you want to play first? And I was like, Moonwalker. And he was like, don't you want to play Pit Fighter first? I was like, dog, it's Michael Jackson. He was mad because I wanted to play the Michael Jackson game. It's Michael Jackson. There was nothing bigger than Michael Jackson at one point, bro. The Michael Jackson game, bro. Put it on. What are you talking about? And the game was fire. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about? Why are you mad? Why you buy it if he was gonna be mad? Why you hating? why you hating on the boy? More from Ben Twin Blaze says the new guys versus PME and for the tag titles. Effie versus Ethan Price. Ricky Starks returns to the Indies versus Coco Lane. Alpha 1 0G title. Dak Draper versus Danhausen. Laney Luck versus Ali Catch versus Maggie Lee for the women's crown triple threat. Holy fuck, I'm a be 35s in 745 minutes. Yeah, man, have fun this weekend, bro. Happy birthday. That sounds like a really dope Glory Pro show. They got some heat there. Sounds like they got some feuds going on. That's gonna be a good show. And happy birthday, my brother. Yeah, nah, Moonwalker, bro, was the game, just that movie, just that time period, the videos and everything, bro. You had to be there, man. It was a different
Car.
time. Yeah. You had to be there.
Had to be there. Then everybody got a video game. Michael Jordan got a video game. Shaq. They just start handing them out to anybody.
Yeah. See, from Tony P, he says, so when you read this, just know I am either cold on this bus to Newark or I am watching y'all, LOL. I've been under a rock this week getting ready for my trip to Full Gear, so I really don't have a petty of the week. So host choice this week. I mean,
wow.
It's Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar, far and away. Yeah, they're not. No competition, you guys. Like, Kendrick dropped on us. He made us laugh. He made us cry. He did it all, everything. It's Kendrick.
It was Kendrick. There's a bit of a runner-up for another guy that always says controversial things when you put a microphone in front of his face.
Yeah. If for the wrestling side, definitely your homie Phil from Chicago, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I read that part. He says, as for the Graps, my power went out on the second hour of Dynamite because of a storm. We had so can you give me full feedback? But the opening was fire. Women shined in NXT again. Hopefully they will start pushing Thea now that Chase U is done. Yeah, people are going through it over that Chase U breakup on the timeline.
Bro, I ain't never seen so many people so upset over an NXT storyline. Like, I've seen a bunch of stuff of people being like, Chase U. And I was like, I didn't know Chase U had it like that. Good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, Dynamite was cool. I think the wrestling itself was very good. There were a lot of segments where I was like, boy, this is not for me.
Which one, Mike? Which ones?
There was more than one I was like, nah, this ain't good. That Mercedes segment, that was not good. And I've liked a lot of what Mercedes has done, but this one was not good.
Not it.
This was not good. The Jericho walking around thing.
You didn't like that? You didn't like that bit? Jericho stops, looks back, keeps walking slowly.
I think the memes about it were more funny than the actual segment. Wasn't good. I thought there was another segment that I'm forgetting that I was like, this is still going, huh? It was going on very long, and I was like, this is
tough.
Yeah,
matches.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to get into this Full Gear card.
Tonight.
We're talking AEW Dynamite. Full Gear will take place tonight, Newark, New Jersey.
Hot card, you guys. Super hot card.
Yeah, the 0 hour matches they announced look incredible.
The 0 hour matches are some heavy hitters. Every time they announce it, I'm like, wait a second, this is banging.
Yeah, a lot to get into on that card. Let me get it in front of me just so we can knock that out right quick.
That cord.
And
Full Gear.
I
was thinking last year I was at Full Gear because it was in LA. Yeah, Swerve and Hangman. What a time.
Yeah. Straight away, we got Big Boom AJ with Big Justice taking on QT Marshall. I don't understand.
The Rizzler's there too.
I don't understand a lot of this Costco guy stuff. Me and Denise were sitting behind them at All Out, and I was just like, who are these people? And turns out very popular because people kept walking over there to take pictures with him. At one point, AJ had a whole line for him just to take pictures, and just seeing how big this thing is online, the amount of views they get on their TikToks and YouTube, these guys are, I mean, they were on Fallon just off of being TikTok and YouTube influencers.
And people don't understand that sentence that Phil just said. That's crazy. Jimmy Fallon is late night TV, 11:30. Like, that is like prime time to people. And these guys are on there just because they really like Costco. That's crazy. Yeah. So you don't know anything about them, but are you offended that they're getting a match? Because there's a lot of people that don't know anything about them and they're offended that they're getting a match.
No, I think that it's fine because they are very popular. Big Justice was a wrestler. It's not like he's just an influencer
some
that's
dude.
trying to get. He has experience wrestling. I think it makes sense for QT Marshall of all people to be wrestling. I didn't need that QT Marshall diss track, but again, not the audience for this, and I know that. But I thought, shout out to Giancarlo because I thought the vignette they put together for the match was very good. I died laughing when they did the dramatic version of "We Bring the Boom," and they had it in slow motion with QT knocking the cookies in the air. I was like, "Yo, what is this?"
Giancarlo's a beast, dude. He's so good.
Yeah, shout out to him. That was very well produced. But then we got the news that the Rizzler, the real star of this entire thing, will be there as the special timekeeper.
Let's go.
That kid, the pop for him when they were like, the Rizzler will be in it. I was like, bro, he got the brother love pop.
I'm like, no, my guy Rizzler is over though. I think he's going a little bit crazy. Like even with the announcement, everybody was like, the Rizzler?
No, hold on. The Rizzler's gonna be here.
I fucks with the Costco guys. I didn't know the Rizzler was gonna be here though. I'm pulling up.
Nah, man, Riz guy gonna be in the building. That's the real story of this whole thing. But yeah, I expect
a crispy face, some clean shoes on. You know the Rizzler gonna pull up. Y'all got the Rizzler fucked up.
Yeah, but I expect AJ to pull out the win here. This should be like a nice, fun match to get people interested. I think it's smart to put it on the 0 hour to potentially get people to buy this show. Like maybe people tune in to watch that match, but then see some of the other matches on this and see some of the stuff. And now it's like, hey, maybe I'll go buy the pay-per-view for you after this. So I think that's smart.
The amount of followers these guys have and the amount of people that are just going to pull this 0 hour up just because they're on it is a lot. But what's really going to be the deal for this is when Big Justice beats QT Marshall and they put this on TikTok and it does a gazillion views and it gets all these things and all these things. Like people are like, what is this? What's going on? Like you'll understand more when what comes out of this.
Yeah. Everybody in our chat is going crazy for Harley Graham as well. I did not watch all of Rampage last night, but I have seen the Harley Graham segment. Listen, Harley Cameron is one of the most entertaining characters on television right now. She talk about somebody taking the ball and running with it. She has been incredible, man. Like, what a funny segment. Her basically doing the Vicky Small Wonder voice for some reason. Like she's a computer with the hologram mask on. Hilarious.
She's like so good, and like if she was just Harley Cameron doing her bits, what she's been doing with Mina and playing the guitars and all that, it'd be great. But somehow she finds even more bits to do. Like she found a hologram mask and created Harley Graham, and I'm just like,
so funny.
She's so good, man. She's incredible. Give her all the time, give her all the moments. And when they do this stupid Superman meme with her and that real hologram, it's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I saw Mercedes gave it up to her as well. I think a lot of people can see that she's getting it, and you can see it's clicked with her, and fans are loving it. It's really cool to see. We also got Deonna Purrazzo taking on Anna Jay. Really happy to see Deonna on this card in New Jersey, her hometown. I wish that they would do more with Deonna on the main shows. But really cool to see her get the spot. I do think Anna Jay is going to pick up the win here because of just how they've been using Anna Jay since she's came back. Just had a great match with Mariah May on Collision. I think their little short feud and their matches has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys know how Phil and I feel about Deonna. We're big fans, so we're excited to see her in this position. Anna Jay has been incredible since returning from Japan, so give these women given some time, they're going to really put on something special. And yeah, give Deonna more, you guys. Why y'all playing? What's going on?
Yeah. But the heater I saw announced last night for 0 hour, Buddy Matthews versus Dante Martin versus Commander versus Beast Mortos. This is going to be a hot one. This is definitely Righteous Reg style of match. Very much looking forward to this. And this could go either way. I'm not sure who's going to win this.
Commander, Mortos, Buddy, and Dante. I think maybe Mortos could somehow pull out the victory. They got a couple of Buddy Matthews will probably pull it out, right? He has House of Black is in the big match later in the show. Probably makes more sense for him to get a big win. But yeah, this is Righteous Reg Invitational written all over it. This is where you get the big spot food to kick off the show. Dante and Commander in the same match has got me salivating. Very excited about this. But yeah, I feel like Buddy Matthews will probably be the one to pull it out.
Yeah, I kind of want Buddy to win it because it seems like they're heating up House of Black. They're heating up the tag team. You've got Julia coming back. It seems like the right time to start building up Buddy again too. So hopefully Buddy picks up the win here. But I wouldn't be mad at any of these guys picking up the win because all of them could use a win.
Them Julia vignettes they've been showing, bro. Yo, those are fire.
Yeah, they've been the highlight of Dynamite most weeks, along with the matches. I think that those vignettes are working because they're fresh. It doesn't feel like anything else on the show. And, man, shout out to the people creating those things. Shout out to Julia for continuing to get a lot out of something that people didn't think was going to work. I remember when she initially turned and joined the House of Black. People were
kind of turned off. Yeah, they didn't
know
really
how this is going to go, but this has worked out very well for her. She's ended up being one of the breakout stars from 2023. So very much looking forward to her coming back.
This is awesome from like she's returning from injury standpoint too. Like she's coming back to bigger fanfare or bigger something than when she left, and well deserved because she's worked really hard to get in this position. And I think it's the homie Danny is the one that's produced those vignettes. Incredible work, Danny. Shout out to them for producing such different innovative things for the television show.
Yeah, seems like they're setting up the Jamie Hayter match as well because her vignettes keep interrupting Jamie, which I think is smart on two levels because it sets up the feud with them, but it also momentarily keeps Jamie Hayter out of the title picture. And I'm sure people are like, well, put her in the title picture. Why wouldn't you? Because they're clearly not done with Mariah as champion yet. And the second you put Jamie Hayter in the title picture, people are going to want her to win. And so you don't want to get conflicting reception to this when you're not done telling the story with Mariah.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's like we know Jamie's gonna get there, gonna be there, but for now we want to have some other interesting, cool feuds, and this is a great way to kind of keep her in the mix. Both of the women.
I'm seeing people in our chats. Yeah, I'm seeing people in the chat say Deonna could win with the help of Taya. So hopefully, I think that makes a lot of sense. But I want more for Deonna over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into this main card. I believe we have 9 matches total on the main card.
Okay.
MJF versus Roderick Strong is a match that I did not think we would be getting because we talked about it last week. I assumed we were either going to get the triple threat or the Adam Cole match. I was pleasantly surprised that we didn't just rush into the Adam Cole match. I'm fine with pushing that down the road some. And I think that this is going to be one of the sleeper matches on this card because Roderick Strong is Roderick Strong, and he's known to just pull a great match out of his hat, out of nowhere.
Roderick Strong is one of those wrestlers that I think people forget about. He's just underrated where, like, if you need, like, I need 13 hardcore minutes of a match that's going to fucking bang, put Roderick Strong in there. I think this is a great return match for Max, too, because it's still storyline based and it's still doing the Max bits, but he gets to have like a hard hitting dope match with Roderick Strong and kind of show that he's still that guy. So I think it's going to be the one of those ones, but like we all know what the result of this match is. It's MJF returning. He's going to get the big win here against Roderick Strong, but Roderick Strong is definitely going to give it to him.
What did you think of the segment this week with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole? There were bits of it I liked. I felt like it went a little long.
The crowd did not care.
No,
that didn't help.
By the way, the segment I was talking about earlier that felt like it went forever, and I was like, I don't know. When Roddy was out there talking, I was like, Roddy, wrap it up. And he did the thing. He did the thing that he did on NXT when they were trying to make him babyface. He got into like his growing up situation at Trailer Park and like the family stuff, and I was just like, I don't know if we wanted this. I think we just want the match. It's cool.
We don't need that from this Roderick Strong. We know, like, he doesn't. Our Roderick Strong backstory is the badass fool that backbreakers people. We know him from Ring of Honor. Like, we don't need we don't need to gain any more sympathy for Roddy. We already have it.
Yeah. Already a fan of Roddy. I did think that segment was great. There were some interesting bits to the Cole and Kyle O'Reilly back and forth because I thought it was very interesting that Kyle emphasized that Adam Cole is a leader. People would run through a wall for him. And when you have a current situation where there's a vacuum for a leader to step in for the baby faces to go up against Mox and his crew, I thought it was very interesting that he kept emphasizing that part, that Adam Cole is a leader. And it makes me believe even more that the end goal to this is getting the three of them together to challenge for the trios titles.
Yeah, I think that just makes the most sense for this faction, which people are going to forever have love for. Again, that connection. It's just like we're already connected to you guys in this way. You don't even have to tell us different stories. Tell us the stuff that we know. So when they get the group together, I think it's going to be great for Adam Cole, great for that division, more importantly. And if we're leading to that, I'm very excited about that. Kyle O'Reilly saying, I don't want to see my friends get burnt. And then them shooting to a very orange Adam Cole was an interesting production thing. I just don't want to see my friends get burned and they shoot to a burnt ass Adam Cole.
Somebody had a sense of humor on that one for sure.
Right? You know what I mean? I'm like, they're in on it together because, like, how did they coordinate that?
Yeah, but yeah, you're like you said earlier, we know where this is going. MJF is going to pick up the win, and that's going to lead to Adam Cole eventually getting his match, probably at World's End.
World's End, that makes more sense.
We've got Jay White taking on Hangman Adam Page. Very much looking forward to this. Big fan of their last match at the last pay-per-view.
Yep.
These two guys are big match wrestlers, so I think they're going to show up and show out.
Facts.
But I do think that Hangman is going to pick up the win this time to even up the score. We might even get a third match out of this, but I do think Hangman is going to pick. It's his pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is named after his bid. I don't see Hangman losing here, man.
Yeah, I think that I kind of, just before that potential that you're saying, potential third match, I think I want Hangman to win at this bit. They've been telling a great story leading into this. And just like Phil said, these are two big match wrestlers. Put the big lights on these guys. It's a main event. We're rocking. We're going to do some real ass wrestling right here. It's Full Gear. Both of these guys have had a couple of interesting moments at Full Gear. Last year, Jay White was involved in
That was last year.
interesting bit there with MJF. Hangman had the, of course, classic match with Swerve. And this year, I think we're at a great place with both of these guys. Hangman is on his way to being somehow involved in world title feud, or he needs to or something. So he's about to start racking up these wins, and it starts tonight.
Yeah, the further we get away from all of the Bryan stuff, and I get it was his choice to lose to Mox, it feels more and more like Hangman should be champion.
That's how I'm feeling. Every time Hangman talks, I'm like, this guy.
He's the best character in the company. It just feels like I enjoy the Mox stuff, but I do also look at what Hangman's doing. Like, bro, it's just different.
I like the Mox stuff a lot, but and I understand what they're doing with the World Championship in a box. But like every time I see Hangman, and then every time, I'm like, dog, I feel what you're doing, but there's things that we could be doing with this World Championship that would change shit.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time on that last one. You can't hold that one off too much longer.
It's like this guy's undeniable, you guys. Like, I think we're playing.
Yeah. Got a 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Private Party will be defending their belts against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. Some people were very, very not happy that the Acclaimed are the fourth team in this match.
Yeah, to say the least, Philip Lindsey. Yeah, they ended up defeating LFI last week on Collision, and people were, before Collision even happened and they heard about the spoilers, people were like, what is this shit? And it's like, well, guys, take it easy. You know, like stories are being told here. Things are happening. There was at one point where people were moving mountains for the Acclaimed, and now that you know, the story has changed a lot and they weren't very happy. So that was a very funny story to see. This match should be very fun. This is, I think recently they've been really emphasizing how tag team wrestling is trying to make a comeback here. There's no reason in the world that Private Party should lose tonight. Like, they need a successful title defense. I think this is a good way to put them over some very established tag teams here. And I think this is Private Party's time, right?
Yeah. Private Party has to win. It's their first major defense at a pay-per-view. I'm getting more and more to the point, though. it just feels like it's time to let Bowens go off on his own. It's just feeling like
they're teasing it. It feels like that's where we're gonna get to. But what happens with Max Caster, Phil? Let's talk about this.
I don't know. And I
that's the only thing that's anytime I see anybody talk about it, it's always like, but what about Max Caster? And like,
I don't know, man. I just think that Bowens is in a place where they're getting to that point where you might have a fork in the road for him soon.
Yeah.
Where it almost feels like this is holding him back. Like, just let him. I've been saying it forever, but at least let him compete in the C2 this year.
Let him try.
But yeah, Private Party should get the win here. Shout out to Isaiah, because, bro, this guy has been everywhere. He's been everywhere with that belt. That video of him getting a haircut and he's got the belt over his shoulder with the sunglasses on. And I mean, my man is just like, hooking his fade up. And he's just like crispy sitting there with that belt draped over his shoulder. Man, what a guy.
He's had it at the cookout. Like, it's everywhere.
He been on a world tour with that belt, bro. Showed up to the wrestling club. Those kids were going crazy for him. That was really cool to see that. And Zay talked about going back to Brooklyn as champion and hopefully inspiring a new generation. That's what it's all about. What a dope thing to see. Shout out to Victor Perry.
Yeah, they posted a picture a couple weeks ago with them back at the House of Glory Trading Center with their belts, and Mercedes has her belt too. I'm like, man, this is hard, you guys. Like, Private Party has worked so hard to be in this position, and Zay is milking every single moment as he should.
Yeah, outside, bro. That guy has been outside with that.
Shout out to Quinn too.
Yeah, got Mercedes Moné taking on Chris Statlander for the AEW TBS Championship. There has been a lot of talk around not just Mercedes coming into this match, but also Camille. A lot of people have been very down on Camille. I don't understand why people don't seem to get that this is classic wrestling storytelling where the henchman gets made into the joke, and it's all in service of making the main character look worse because she's like dunking on this person that's supposed to be on her side. She's cowardly. And yeah, so when people are like, she keeps getting punked out and it's a burial, I don't think it's a burial. I think that she's the bad guy and she's supposed to look bad. If she looks too cool, then what's the point of any of this? Now, I get some of it, the timing of it hasn't been great for Camille, but again, I get what they're going for here. I don't understand why people are acting like, oh, she's ruined now.
Yeah, people are just so used to in this position the big being cool and the relationship being more like Shawn Michaels and Diesel. They're slapping hands and they're friends and stuff. But no, the whole point of this is Mercedes to get the most heat off of her that she can. And the way that she's been getting a lot of heat and having a lot of people talking is by berating the person that she's paying to help her. Like, that's all a part of the bit. And so people have been like, damn, why is she talking like that to Camille? But it's like Phil's saying, it's a part of her getting more heat on herself.
She's a bad guy. Like, that's what it is. But also some of the talking points about Mercedes, I did not like that segment this week, but I've enjoyed most of the build for this pay-per-view. I think the disconnect with some of it is that at least when you had the Brit build, say what you will about that match, that build felt like a big match because they were having the in-ring promos. It felt like a build for a big match. It felt like something worthy of two of the biggest stars in the division. And so when you look at this, it's such a I don't want to say a regression, but it's so different because Statlander's not a talker. And so you're not going to be able to do those same segments. And then when you get a segment this week, which just did not do well, it makes it look like, well, what are they even paying Mercedes all this money for? And I hate that every time something doesn't land for her, we get back to the same conversation like, oh, well, they're overpaying her. Or you can see that WWE made her and they were just propping her up. And I don't think that's the case. I just think that it's taken some time to get this character to land with some people because it's just a different audience. And it's so interesting watching her reaction at New Japan shows in comparison, because it's so different. And I don't think it's that she's not executing certain things well. I just think that the expectations were so high, and some people are just not going to get into her as a talker, because I don't think she's a great talker, but like her coming out and doing the catchphrases and stuff, some people are just not going to.
They're never going to get behind it. They don't like those WWE tropes. Just like you said, Phil. This is a different crowd. And the thing about this crowd is they're a wrestling crowd. So if Mercedes isn't wrestling, they're never going to connect with her. We've gone weeks and weeks and weeks without Mercedes being in the ring. Only time they see her is in backstage segments, sometimes on the top of the ramp. How can she connect with this crowd when they see her, she's just berating Camille? This crowd connects with wrestlers who wrestle. Yes. That's just what AEW does. They're never going to get to anything else. Catchphrases and shit aren't going to work unless it's attached to some fucking wrestling.
Yeah, I do think that she should be doing more open challenges like she initially started when she won the TBS title. I was going to say I don't know why they went away from it, but again, it's the heel thing of I'm not just letting anybody challenge me for this belt. I'm a coward. I'm going to run away. But it's so funny because she's doing the exact opposite in New Japan. Like she's taking on all challengers. But I do think
having the banger dream matches in New Japan, it's hilarious.
Yeah, but I do think this match is going to deliver. I think this is going to be one of her better matches this year, because she did have 2 in a row on pay-per-view that people weren't a fan of, and that hasn't helped the perception around her. But I think this match is going to cook.
Yeah, this is honestly my sleeper match of the show. Like everything we said, I was saying it on the post show this week. Like everybody's been down on Mercedes, down on this feud, down on that. When this bell rings, these 2 women are about to tear the house down. Statlander, built for matches like this. She's not the best talker. She's not the character work and all that's not really needed. I feel in some certain positions with her. Just ring the fucking bell, dude. That's how she gets over. That's where her charisma shines. And Mercedes up against the wall in a position like that where people think something about her is the best Mercedes. So these 2 women put in this position, I think, are going to destroy it. My sleeper match of the show right here, which Mercedes is going to win, of course.
Yeah, I think Mercedes is going to win too, but Statlander is known to give people their best match. I mean,
yes,
you can make a very strong argument that she gave Britt Baker her best match in AEW. You can argue that she gave Jade her best match as well. She's had great matches with a number of people. I like the Sheeta match this week on TV. I think the issue with it is, and the reaction to it was, people were happy to see Sheeta, but when you set this match up like this on a go home episode right before the pay-per-view, everybody knows Sheeta's losing. And so you're just not going to get some people as excited going into it, knowing that Sheeta's just going to lose to elevate Statlander ahead of this title match.
I didn't understand when they booked the match. It was on Collision, I think, or Rampage. Sheeta, they walk up and then they're like, "Oh yeah, let's have this match." And then I thought they were going to say after the Mercedes match at the next Dynamite post Full Gear, because it's an automatic that you know that Chris Statlander is going to beat Sheeta going into the pay-per-view. So people already had that in their mind. They already did it. There's so many things they don't want to like about the match and its positioning and what happened. And that's definitely what fell to it. People are saying not enough time, but these 2 women definitely went out there and worked hard. I liked it.
Yeah. I think that they should give the women time. It's the only women's match on the main card, so give it time. But I think, this match is going to cook. We also got Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa doing the champion celebration that Mariah has been teasing that she wants to have for all this time. She finally has Mina back in the U.S., so she's going to do it on this pay-per-view. I very much think that they're trying to get us to think that Toni Storm is going to make an appearance. I think that's why they're teeing it up this way. That quote this week of Toni Storm saying she's retiring, AEW is better off without her. I do think we're going to see Toni. I'm not sure if it's going to be tonight. I do think Mariah's going to turn on Mina, though.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can see all of the makings of it in the segment this week. It was very funny. Mina was trying to hype her up, and every time Mina started talking, Mariah started scooting more in front of her until she was all the way in front of her and putting the title in the picture to drive home the point. It's about me. And if you look at that in comparison to what they were like in Japan when they were Club Venus and they were inseparable, you just see how much Mariah has changed since she turned on Tony. And I think that's the point of this. I don't think this is leading to a happy ending for Marina. I think that this is going to be another angle where Mariah turns on somebody. And I'm assuming we're going to get the match maybe at the next pay-per-view. I know winter is coming. It's coming up. Maybe it'll be there. But I have to assume the match will be there. I'm kind of curious why they didn't just do the match on this card.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to do the turn some point leading up to this card. But then I also thought, like, they have a little bit of time to kind of add some legs to this thing. It doesn't have to be an immediate match. But yeah, I expect the turn tonight. And maybe World's End, I guess, would make a lot of sense. But then there's those January shows. There's kind of a lot of moments that could be featured in here somewhere.
Yeah, I do think that they're laying it in heavy to make people think Tony shows up. But I think if you bring Tony in now, it immediately overshadows Mina in a potential match. So I don't think you want to do it now. But eventually, I do think there will be a rematch between Mariah and Tony. Just not yet.
February, probably, right?
Australia seems like a great time to do it. So, got about 5 more matches on this card. Jack Perry is taking on Dan Garcia for the TNT Championship. Mixed up my Turner channels. TNT Championship. Sorry. This was another one where
this week.
The segment this week. The stuff from Collision of him driving around with him on the hood of the car, and then we got the Batman interrogation sequence. There's a line that Jack Perry says that's like almost line for line the Joker line from Dark Knight. I get what they were going for, but it's more of Jack calling his bluff, like, "Oh, that's it? That's all you got? Like, you got to kill me. I don't care. Like, I'm bro, you got to crash out."
Yeah.
Like,
When Daniel Garcia hits the light and he's beating up the car, and then Jack Perry says, "That's it," that shit killed me. I thought that shit was hella funny. We've already seen it, Phil. We talked about it on this show. He was gonna let Darby Allin set him on fire, bro. What you thought? What do you do? You're not doing enough right now. I don't have gasoline on me. Like, hit me with that. Like, when he started bringing the weapon out, Jack Perry was like, "Cool, we're about to get to some fun shit," and they're just like, weren't. And so he hits the truck, and Daniel Garcia runs out, and then Matt Menard tries to talk shit, and Jack Perry's like, "Man, you get out of here too, dog. Like, I don't know why are you talking to me?"
Yeah, all of that was funny, but I didn't think the segment was good. And I think when you compare it to how hot those MJF and Garcia segments were, this is a step backwards. Garcia was showing how much better he was as a talker. He had such a presence in front of the live crowd. And so I was hoping we would get more of that, and we just didn't. And so these backstage segments were a real head scratcher for me, but still very excited for this matchup.
Yes.
I do think that the match itself is going to deliver. I kind of want Dan to just get the win.
I hope that's where we're leading to. There's no way we could not be leading to Dan Garcia leaving this show as the TNT champion. That's my pick. I think there's some elements in here that were good in the story build up to it, but then they got too heavy into Batman and Joker bits, and I was like, you guys, we just want to see these two guys wrestle.
Yeah, wasn't for me, but still very much loving this matchup. There were bits of this build that I did enjoy, but I didn't think the stuff on the Go Home show was the kind of stuff that you would show to get people hyped for this match.
And you're like the target audience for that. That's the funny bit about it. Like, you would be somebody that would like this type of thing because you like that, those type of shows, but like, no.
Yeah, it didn't hit for me, unfortunately. But like I said, there were a few things on the Go Home show where I was just thinking this is a choice, but
they've had some fire Go Home shows the last couple of shows. That's why this one was kind of like, okay.
But like I said, the matches were good.
Matches were heat though. Yeah.
Some of the connective tissue and the segments in between, not so much. Kind of got announced last minute. Konosuke Takeshita will be taking on Ricochet for the international champion. When I saw this announced, man, very much excited for this. Still loving to see Ricochet outside, getting the big matchups, getting presented in this way. Man, getting big pay-per-view matches. Love that for him. This match is going to hit. These two guys are great. Takeshita has been on a roll in the conversation, in my opinion, for Wrestler of the Year.
Facts.
I have no doubt that this is going to be heat.
This is exciting. Seeing a one-on-one pay-per-view Ricochet match is going to continue to hit every single time. Ricochet is so good at wrestling that he's only went like 40% since he's been in 8. Like, he could do a completely new moveset tonight that we'd never seen before. That's how great this guy is. Takeshita is, like Phil said, in the runnings for Wrestler of the Year. His resume this year is fucking crazy. Every match is like a 5-star match, phenomenal. He's working like he's the baddest motherfucker on the planet, walking with his chest out. This match is gonna be fire. But yeah, Takeshita going home with that international. Is he? Yeah, he is.
I think he's gonna win. I totally believe he's gonna go into Tokyo Dome as champion.
Yes, he is. He is.
So
he is.
I don't
with
see
these
him
recent announcements and things that happen that we should get into here. Also, some people coming back, some things happening. Takeshita is definitely going to keep that championship.
Yes. Also got Will Ospreay taking on Kyle O'Reilly. This was some of the stuff I did think going into the go home that was good. I've enjoyed all of the build for this match. The promo segments we got last week, I really enjoyed it. And the match we got this week was also good. Fletcher, when you give him these kind of matches, even when he's just been on TV, he's been great. I kind of didn't like what Ospreay said, because he's like, what have you done? Nah, he was cooking as television champion, bro. He was having good matches. I think
all
people
of
just
Kyle's
didn't see
matches too, like regardless of how many championships you think he's won, every time the bell fucking ring, Kyle knocks it all the way out of the park.
No, he's been hitting those Lee Johnson matches, bro. If you didn't see that feud, he was having good matches.
Yes, often. The one that they did at the ROH pay-per-view, that shit was crazy. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher has definitely been excelling in all positions. And like you said, in matches like this, he's so good in like every position. Every time like he gets his little moment of shine, he's like, I'm the baddest motherfucker in here. I don't care that Will Ospreay is here. Like, you can really feel like by his confidence and the way that he moves, like he really believes those words. Like he really believes that he's better than Ospreay.
Yes. Ospreay has not had a bad match this year. His pay-per-view matches, I'm telling you, being in the building for him, I've been in the building for more than one of pay-per-view with him on it this year. The way the crowd reacts to him when he comes out, the way they react to his matches, the level at which he's working, the match, the quality of the matches, it's just completely different than anything else on the show. I have no doubt that this will be in the conversation for match of the night, because it's Ospreay. When has he not done this year? So fully expect us to be talking about how great this match is next week.
Yeah, it's getting nauseating just saying after every big AEW show, the Ospreay match was the best match of the show. The Ospreay match is just like a given at this point. And with the story these guys been telling and how you know that Ospreay wants to put his friend over, this match is going to be fucking crazy. They're going to do some insane stuff. They're going to do some stuff that we say, it's going to be scary at points. But I'm fully expecting this to probably be the match of the night, just because Ospreay's had so many match of the nights in AEW that it's old at this point. The result, Phil, that is the most intriguing part of this, because I feel like they've been telling a story with Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, and everybody seems to think that they're feuding, but I think that they are still tight as friends as they ever been, and collaborating in the background. And I think the finish of this match is Mark Davis screwing over Will Ospreay.
Yeah. I also think that that's where this is going. I do think that Ospreay is going to lose, because I do think that Mark is going to help Fletcher win. This is leading to Aussie Open reuniting and being a tag team under the Don Callis family umbrella. You got to get these guys paired together by the time you head to Australia. There's no way you're going to Australia without these guys as a tag team. I think you've got to do Aussie Open versus Private Party on that card. I don't see why you wouldn't do that in some form, even if it's a multi-man match like a triple threat. I feel like you have to do that. I don't see a world where you don't.
I pitched this to Denise because I was like, you got to get Aussie Open back together. Like, how do you not? They're a fucking incredible tag team. She's like, well, I like what Kyle Fletcher's doing as a single wrestler, and I don't want to. Like, he could still be a singles wrestler, but if you got fucking Aussie Open together, you put them together.
You're going to Australia, bro. The way we were talking about Tyler in front of that West Coast crowd, if you're not going to Australia ready to hit that, Aussie, bro. If we're not getting that theme song and those two guys coming out challenging for the tag titles, what are we doing?
We're tripping. Yeah,
what are we doing?
Something did not get connected. That definitely has to happen. And yeah, this is the way that you get them back together. I still think Kyle Fletcher can continue to shine as a singles wrestler and do his thing and continue to grow. But if you got Aussie Open and this tag team division definitely needs Aussie Open, you better put them boys in the ring.
I just don't see a world where you don't do this. I'm ready for Lowe to drop the Maxwell dancing joint. Like, come on, get to it.
Kills me every time.
Get to it, bro.
But yeah, Kyle Fletcher's getting the big dub tonight, which is going to be great for him.
Yes. Also, I think one of the matches that I think on this pay-per-view that had the second best build, possibly the best build, honestly, Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. The Hurt Syndicate, I've said more than once, I think has been the highlight of Dynamite's most weeks. And this was one of the things from the Go Home show that I still really enjoyed. All this stuff with Swerve jumping Bobby from behind when he announced he was wrestling and then giving that devious laugh and running away. It was so funny. I was like, yo, why did he do that?
He villain laughs and scurries off is so perfect. And then the other bit that they have where they pulled on a Swerve lookalike in the same jacket, I was like, damn, they got a really good lookalike too. They hemmed him up on the thing, and I'm like, yo, this is a really great bit right here going on. They're telling some good stories with this match. This card's so good, I forgot about this match, man. That's crazy.
I said on Blue Sky, Swerve sending out a Doom bot to trick them with his coat on was very funny to me. They had him all hemmed up on a wall, and he was just like, I don't know nothing. And then we cut away. We don't ever see this guy again. I was like, did they kill this guy?
I think he might
Is he alive?
Dead. Yeah, nah, we never heard about him. They didn't update him. We never seen him again. Yeah, I think Bobby and Shelton handled that.
But we did get the announcement from Bobby at one point, and when they said that, I said, oh, Bobby's going to announce he's going to be on the C2, right? And it was just he's having a match. Poor Cheeseburger. I was very happy to see Cheeseburger, and then I saw he was wrestling, and I said, oh, I hate it had to be you, bro.
Yeah, when they do the little wide shot and they show which wrestlers are coming out as Bobby Lashley's about to enter the ring, and I see Cheeseburger in there, I'm like, damn, it's going to be Cheeseburger. Bobby Lashley's about to kill this guy. Love that Bobby Lashley brought back the standing dominator on Cheeseburger specifically. I was like, that looks devastating.
Yes, that was one of those moves I was surprised he stopped doing while he's with WWE, especially when he started using the Hurt Lock and really doing the Hurt Business stuff. He really used the Hurt Lock as his finisher for most of that period. And I think the Dominator looks so cool that I'm like, bro, why stop using it? So I was very excited to see that again. Hopefully he keeps using that moving forward.
And when he does it, it looks crazy. Like a big giant man just swinging you like a damn log or I don't know what. It looks insane. Please continue to do that, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. That match served its purpose, made this guy look very terrifying. He destroyed two poor guys. And then we got the Swerve stuff. His music hit. Nana's up there dancing around on stage. And this was another thing that was very unintentionally funny to me. MVP is down there by the ring, and he's like standing there with his cane, like, where is he? He's like shaking it around, like, where is he? And the whole time you can see behind him that Swerve's coming up from under the ring, and he slides in the ring and just does his business. MVP never sees it.
He never just looks behind him. Where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah, then I like the thing that Swerve got over. He's carrying this big chain. hits Lashley with a nice house call, makes him look strong. Lashley still looks fucking devastating. Really good build into this match, getting Lashley established with the crowd, getting the Hurt Syndicate established with the crowd. I think this has been some really good build up.
Yeah, Swerve did that really cool escape that he does where he goes through the rope and flips out of the ring to escape and ran out into the crowd. I thought all of that stuff was cool. Again, this build has been fantastic. I think this match is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I love that Swerve still feels like a big deal. He's still very popular with the crowd. It's wild to think about it. He hasn't been champion in almost 3 months, and he still feels like a big deal. He still feels like one of the biggest stars in the company, and the fact that Lashley targeted him specifically because he's a former champion and one of the top stars in the company, MVP also targeted him for the same reasons. That's so cool to see a star at Bobby Lashley's level, like the star power that he already is bringing in, and he's immediately having the big feud with Swerve. I'm kind of on the fence here. I don't know who's going to win this because I could see it going either way. I could see Swerve winning, but you don't want to have Lashley come straight in and lose. So I don't know how we're going to do this. It kind of feels like Lashley needs to win more, but I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. I think that if I had to guess, Lashley's probably going to pick up the win and enter the Continental Classic.
Yeah, I'm there's so many intriguing things about this match and how the match is going to be worked because Lashley be throttling fools sometimes. Lashley's a dangerous motherfucker, but Swerve is, like you said, he's a top guy. He's a big star. He's bigger. He's badder. He's meaner. Like, there's all the elements for him to really take it to Bobby Lashley. Swerve's just kind of coming back too off a couple of, like, he also kind of needs a win. And should he enter the Continental Classic? That's I don't know. I haven't really thought about Swerve in the Continental Classic.
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, he did very well last year in the Continental Classic. He was one of the top competitors in it. He only had one loss, I believe, and that was to John Moxley, who ended up going to the finals.
They should have probably maybe made this for a spot in the tournament, and then Lashley wins, because I think Lashley is going to win. He kind of should have the win coming into this match, and he's probably going to, or should also be in the Continental Classic. So I like that story of him beating Swerve and being like, and I'm about to be in the Continental Classic.
I'm wrong, right? It was Eddie
Kingston, Moxley, right?
It was Eddie Kingston versus Bryan in the finals, right?
The finals, yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. I said Mox went to the finals. He did not.
Yeah, no. Swerve lost to Mox, and then Mox lost to
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. Our main event, speaking of John Moxley, he will be taking on Orange Cassidy. The Moxley stuff has been very hit or miss for people, and I understand why. Yeah. I think some people are still waiting for this big reveal, and I don't know why. I think people keep waiting for him to reveal who he's working for or what is his real motive. But
people are still waiting for that?
I keep seeing people say that they want the payoff to all of this, but I think he's been telling you why he's doing all of this stuff, that he looks around and he hates what this company's become. If he has to be the guy that stands up in a room and says, I hate all of this stuff, like he's Kendrick in a room saying, we got to watch the party die. Like it's over, bro. Like y'all still acting like we're good. Like you still acting like all of this stuff is fine. You're fine where you are. You're complacent. I think that's his whole point of, no, I'm trying to shake these people up and get them to the place where they're supposed to be. And case in point, Orange Cassidy, I felt should have been in the world title run right after he had that incredible run as international champion. That was the logical next step for him. The fact that it took a year to get him back in the main event scene in a world title match, that's Moxley's point. If you've been languishing around after we had that big match after All Out, I challenge you. We had this big match in the United Center, tore the house down. I thought after that you were going to come and, all of this was laid at your feet. And you're still doing this best friend stuff. You're still doing this conglomeration stuff. You're still doing the same bits. So after this match, which I thought the main event of this show was great.
Good match.
Orange Cassidy starts getting beat down by Mox and his guys. They tape him up, and they're looking like they're going to beat him up. And then Orange Cassidy starts doing the sloth kicks again. And immediately, Mox just lays his ass out with his
Locks
forearm.
him. Yeah.
Because he's just like, yo, see, you still playing. What are you doing? Like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I am serious with you.
We're
you
jumping
still
you
here
in here,
games.
and you're doing bits. Like, I'm not playing. You still think we're playing.
Yeah, this felt very much like Omni-Man standing over him like, think, what are you doing? You're still playing with me, dog. I'm not playing with you.
I like this bit a lot, though, of them looking like big bullies. They have Orange in the middle, and he's still being defiant. He's still being that. But Moxley is like, all right, you guys think this is a whole bit. I'm going to kill this guy, Orange Cassidy. That's funny that people are still saying that they want a payoff, because with this match, like, I think that Jon Moxley is going to beat Orange Cassidy, and I think that a lot of people don't expect Orange to win, and that's kind of what's playing into the reservations with this, because this whole Death Riders thing and what happened on this show this week and what happened on the show this week, all this is leading me to believe that Darby Allin is the savior of AEW. Like, they keep telling the story of, like, no matter what the Death Riders do, no matter where they are, Darby Allin's going to be on their ass. Even if they squash him, run him over, he's still going to be that one little bug that's after their ass. And it felt like you're telling me that do you want me to see Darby Allin win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, specifically from Jon Moxley? So I see people saying that they want the payoff, but like, there being a higher power isn't the payoff.
No, I think the payoff is him challenging all these baby faces to step up. And it's like, yo, if you don't like what I did to your hero, if you don't like what I'm doing, if you don't like that this belt is over here in this briefcase, come take it from me.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Do something about it.
And so I love where we are with this. I don't think the Orange Cassidy is going to win, because Orange is still acting like he don't want it. Yes. And I think that's part of the point to this storyline. If he's still a reluctant leader. Like, we all see it in him. We all know that he can wrestle, but of course, in character for him, of him giving minimum effort, he's still kind of like, okay, if I have to fight him, I'll fight him. But no, if you go into that ring thinking like, well, I guess if you go in there, that guy's gonna kill you.
And like, even at the end of the
games.
At the end of the show, with Orange slowly putting on the glasses and Mox look over, Mox is like, that's it? That's what you like? You're still doing the same bit.
You're still doing bits.
Beat your ass. You're still doing bits, dude, and we just beat your ass. Do something about this. Come take this championship, and that's not going to be enough to take this championship.
No. I think you're right. That I think Darby is going to work his way back up. I think that's why he lost the match to Claudio, because he's eventually going to get his rematch. He's going to work his way through all of the rest of the Death Riders until he gets his match with Mox. But we still have Christian looming
every time.
Contract.
I swear, I'm sold on Darby Allin. Every time, here comes my friend Philip Lindsey to be like, Christian, and I'm like, God damn it.
Christian is still looming with this contract.
Shit.
And I don't know that this is going to end well for Darby, because I feel like even if he beats Moxley, this is going to lead to Christian cashing in on him.
Because Christian cash-in works better on Darby than it would on Orange, I feel. Like, I feel like if Orange were to win the championship, he has to, like, have some defenses. He has to defend it. Like, for Darby's story and Darby's character, Christian coming in and destroying his dreams would actually help his character.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, very strong card. Looking forward to tonight's show. I do think that Mox is going to retain. Yeah. I am curious if we'll see Christian tonight.
A tease?
Maybe we'll tease it, but I don't see him cashing in tonight.
No, he shouldn't. And then he's not going to cash in on Mox anyways. That just wouldn't. For storyline purposes, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it does not. But yeah, very much excited for this pay-per-view.
Yes, sir. I'll be on with the homegirl Denise Salcedo later for the watch along. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a long one.
Yep. We're going to get into some more super chats, humper chats, and some more topics. But before I do that, I am going to hit you with a word from our sponsors.
BetOnline.AG is the official betting partner of Fightful. 100% of the time when you get the odds from Fightful, they are coming from BetOnline.AG. And it's not just wrestling, it's not just MMA and boxing. It's football, it's basketball, baseball, hockey. They have the earliest lines. You can bet big with the high limits and rebet functionality. They have the fastest payouts with winnings paid in minutes and the industry's best bonuses on every qualifying deposit. They've been trusted for 25 plus years. It's not some fly-by-night company. BetOnline.AG has been there. They've done that. In addition, they're trusted by millions. They've got VIP rewards programs and a ton of popular games. BetOnline.AG, that's where I go to make my bets. That's where I suggest you go to, my friends. Please just bet what you can and bet responsibly.
BetOnline.ag is the place to go for all of your sports betting needs. I believe you can still bet on the card for Full Gear. Sometimes they take them down early, but if you want to bet on pro wrestling as well, can do that on BetOnline.ag.
Get you some bets in. Bet online. There's a lot of sports to bet on right now, like a lot. So go in there and get it, but bet responsibly, of course.
Do you think we're going to see one Kenny Omega tonight?
I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, I had got on to Blue Sky last night, and I thought it was there was a couple of times I thought the homie Tom's Customs had did a little bit with the flyer, and so I scroll past and I see still Kenny Omega is going to take on Gabe Kidd January 5th at Wrestle Dynasty. It's been officially announced. Kenny Omega is back, BACK. So that's very exciting. I kind of expect him to have a match in AEW maybe, though, before that, right?
That's what I've been thinking. Every time somebody responds to me being excited about the Gabe Kidd match and goes, well, but why is he debuting over there first? Why isn't he coming back? It's still a lot of time left before this year is over. I do think that there's a strong chance that he can wrestle for AEW before that Wrestle Dynasty match. I just think that he wanted to give New Japan something first. And the telltale sign for me is he did the same thing that Tony did. He was like, well, AEW don't need me. He's throwing you off the scent so that when he does show up, it's going to be a big surprise, because I don't believe him at all. I mean, for him to sit and say at this current moment where the leader not around, John Moxley is running around, running roughshod on the company with the belt and the briefcase, all this chaos is going on, and you're saying the company don't need you. The company needs you more now than ever.
You're a liar, Kenny Omega. I love you. You're one of the greatest of all times. But in fakes and for reals, this company needs you, dog. What do you mean?
Yeah, so very curious to see if he shows up tonight.
He should.
I do think it would be cool right now where Jack has no backup because everybody's gone. The Elite's gone. The Bucks are not there. We haven't seen Okada, and so I would love it after all of this, even if he retains his belt and he's standing up thinking he's won, and then all of a sudden we hear from North Carolina.
Yes. Tonight?
That would be a cool moment. He's had some big moments as Full Gear as well. So that would be a cool moment.
That's exciting. That's exciting to think about. This potentially could happen.
I would love it. I'm not sure if we will see him tonight, but I would love to see Kenny Omega. Just seeing him out and about again, doing interviews, showing up in New Japan has gotten me so excited. So I do think that he's, of course, got unfinished business with the Elite. The guy that was talking a lot when he had backup and put hands on him when he had other people behind him to help him. Now he's all alone. There is a chance that Kenny Omega is coming for his revenge.
Jack Perry better watch your back. But yeah, perfect timing, honestly, for Kenny to come back if he does, giving them circumstances.
Yeah. Get into some more super chats and humper chats.
Yep. Our friend Margie Love says, "Hey guys, happy Grapsody Day. What I loved about this week was all the new and great things we got in music and wrestling, and then things that were set up for the future too."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been an exciting week for a lot of things this week, Margie. And it's not over. We got some great wrestling to come today and tomorrow. Well, all the time it's pro wrestling. Tim Ruza says Rockstar need to get Dot in GTA 6, Mustard 2.
Now, some of that music definitely fits the vibe of Grand Theft Auto from what I've seen. I've never played a Grand Theft Auto in my entire life, but it seems like it fits the vibe that I've seen other people get when they're playing it.
I'm sure our chat is going to be like, what? But yeah, it's not really that surprising to me. Shanika says, "Hi y'all, Kenny Omega back, already seated. Looking forward to seeing Dark's Orange Cassidy got for Mox tonight. Also, Harley Graham nearly took me out."
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that this is the night we could see Kenny or Tony back. I could see us getting one or the other, and I don't think it'll be Tony. So that leads me to believe we could see Kenny.
We need it. Need it bad. Bianca Leia says, "Happy Grapsody Day. I'm at Friendsgiving. Praying mac and cheese recipe turned out right. Hyped for pay-per-view. And what do you think of the Julia Jamie storyline?"
I think it's great. I think it's a great way to reintroduce Julia. I think Jamie needs someone like that to feud with. If you're not going to put her in the title picture, it's got to be somebody with momentum, and it's got to be something that means something.
Yeah, I think this is a good time for both women. Jamie needs something to latch on to. They keep teasing things for her. Get her in a real established feud. Great way to bring back Julia. Both women are on the rise. I think it makes sense for everybody. Tenruza says, "Hill Aussie Open might mean new theme. Might not get the Aussie chant. With Omega back, hope we get better condition Ibushi. I love Hurt Syndicate."
I feel you, but you're going to Australia eventually. There's no way you're not going to get an Aussie chant. Even if you try to not do the music, and it's going to happen regardless if you change their music or not.
I'm like, them being heels ain't going to matter one fucking bit in Australia. They don't give about nothing.
No.
It's going to be great. Great for them. Hey, what's over there says, "I like how they explain how all the bigger stars are dealing with other things to focus on what Mox is doing."
Yes. Everybody is distracted with their own personal beefs.
Because it's like, why are they letting Orange get his ass beat? But it's like, oh, they have other things going on.
Yeah, because if you had to guess right now, who was the top babyface in AEW?
Ospreay?
Yeah, I think it's either Ospreay or Swerve. I think there's like 1A and 1B, but they're both in the middle of like very personal feuds, so they're distracted. They can't take on Mox and say, "What are you doing?"
And I kind of feel like that Mox ain't talking to them. Also, you know what I mean? Like in the story of he wants people to fucking step up and do it. These guys step up every fucking week. You don't need to challenge them to try to make AEW the best company in the world. They've been doing it.
That's true, but I do think like for logic and like for storytelling to go, okay, well, why wouldn't any of these other people step in and try to stop him at this point, especially with what he did to Brian? But that's the answer, because they're all in the middle of their own personal feuds.
But they're probably going to come and try to fight some ass when they're done with that. Because why wouldn't they? They want to protect AEW, don't they? And they keep like selling on. Like, I feel like sometimes Mox is telling a different story than like the announcer. The announcers they're trying to do this. And I'm like, I don't think Mox never said that. And they be putting some stuff on them. Like, he has a different mission objective than you guys are trying to put on him. Like, I don't think Mox is, they're always like, he's trying to stop AEW. He's trying to shut it down. I don't think he's trying to do that at all. I think he's trying to make it better. Like, his words sometimes are crazy, and his methods of like shutting down the show and storyline probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But his thing is like, I want all you fools to be the best so we can be the best.
Yeah, but that's why I pointed out the Adam Cole thing as well, because when you look at where Kyle O'Reilly is, and he's in the midst of conglomeration, is also worried about this Mox stuff. I think he's kind of looking around like, bro, leave this MJF thing alone. Like, you're just going to end up getting yourself or somebody else hurt. There's a bigger thing here pressing that's a threat to the entire company. Right. And you're still trying to keep this.
You're still fighting
vendetta.
with Max.
Yeah, you're still trying to keep this vendetta against Max going. Meanwhile, Mox is running around with a crew beating up everybody else.
And you're like, I gotta get revenge. Yeah, it probably seems pretty crazy. Like, dog, we need help over here, and you're fighting still.
And
MJF ain't even here.
Yeah, and as Kyle O'Reilly kept saying, you're a boring leader. People want to follow you. You should be over here.
Yep. Like, if anybody's gonna that needs to help, it's you, because people will follow your lead.
Yeah, I think that there's some nice subtext to that AEW, when they were going up against the other company, one of the people that were leading the charge on Wednesday nights was Adam Cole. And he was doing pretty well in terms of ratings.
He was. Very interesting stuff there. Tenruza says, fourth member of Hurt Syndicate revealed to cost Swerve the match. Who would you want that to be? I want more chaos from Mox. Not slow, methodical, needs intensity. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I don't think they'll have the fourth member to cost Swerve the match.
I don't know. I could see Leo helping them.
Also.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know, though. But I also could see a world where Lashley just beats him clean.
I mean, it is Lashley. It's not going to be insane if he beats him in a match. It's fucking like his pedigree. Like, he can. It's his fucking former world champion, one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. Like, not going to be crazy for Swerve to lose to him. But then also Swerve could beat him too. You know what I mean? I don't think him losing to Swerve is the biggest hurt, but I feel like he probably is going to win.
Yes.
Tenruz also says Adam Copeland returns to cost Christian the cash in.
I would kind of love that, but then I would also feel like all of that stuff was a waste of time then. Like setting up him having the contract, doing a whole big gauntlet match at the pay-per-view, it would feel like a big waste of time if they did that.
Right. If he doesn't cash it in.
Yeah.
Hey, what's over there says, I'm hyped for the 4-way on the pre-show. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. And then Margie Love says, oh my God, the Swerve versus Mox would be heat.
Yes, it would. That's definitely a match that I can't wait for them to revisit. They had good matches in the Continental Classic. They had good chemistry. And now you've got Mox as a heel against him. I think that's a different dynamic. There's so much you can do with that.
Yeah, I think this dynamic is actually going to be better. Mox as in the position that he's in now, Swerve, the big fucking excited top guy babyface. I think those dynamics and Swerve, if Swerve does come in and try to help save the AEW, like, that's going to create some really good heat.
Yes.
That's all of our super chats for now. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, of course, as always, for the support. You've got some more Humper chats. Before I hit those, let's get into some of the other wrestling this week, because we had a lot of wrestling. Tag League just started for New Japan. Tag League was already in progress for Stardom. But in the midst of that, we got Historic Crossover, which was a very fun show. I was one of those people that was disappointed that we didn't get it last year, because the first one was so much fun. Just seeing these two companies I like get together and do a cross-promotional show. And now that they're under the same company, it just felt like, yeah, why not? And so getting a chance to see this again, this was so much fun. And I, again, echo, continue this as an annual tradition. Hopefully we get another one next year. There's a lot that you can build off of from this year. And we got more announcements for Wrestle Dynasty. We got a lot of stuff that's going to make January pretty cool in terms of wrestling.
It's busy.
Very, very busy. Yeah, let's run down this card real quick. 9 matches total, including the match on the pre-show. Started the show with Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano, Sari taking on God's Eye, Shuri, and Tamaka Inaba. Man, I was very impressed with Inaba in this match. Young, up-and-comer, great strikes. Of course, Cosmic Angels pitched up the win here. No big surprise there, but I thought Inaba looked very great in like the spot she was in. I was the most impressed with her coming out of this match.
Oh, that's really good and interesting to hear, because these are when you do a crossover shows like this, it's about like showcasing talent that we might not know too much about.
Yes,
with more eyes on them. So that's great to hear that happened.
Yeah. And Shuri is Shuri. We know everybody else involved in this match. They're great. All 3 of these people are hoopers, but Inaba is still young and up and coming. I think it's a good sign that they did so much to highlight her coming into this match, and she looked great. We got Neo Genesis taking on Hate in a 6-woman match. Neo Genesis picked up the win. That's going to play into one of the other results later on tonight, but Azumi led her team to the win over those dastardly heels. We also got United Empire, Jeff Cobb, Calvin Newman, Francesco Akira taking on the team of Toru Yano, Tiger Mask, and Bolton Odeleg. More Toru Yano shenanigans on the card will never, ever be looked down on by me. The way that he gets the padding off of the turnbuckle so fast every time. I don't know how he does it. The way he like runs headfirst into it, and you can see him like flinging all the ropes around, and he's got the padding off. It never stops being funny to me. I don't care how many times I see him do it. It's very, very funny. But yeah, this was a way to give United Empire a win here. Mm-hmm. Jeff Cobb is going into a match for the television championship at Wrestle Kingdom. You also have Jeff Cobb and Caleb Newman in the World Tag League. They had this funny exchange at one point where all 3 of them are doing the tandem offense of throwing each other at somebody while they're laying on the ring. Caleb Newman is trying his best to pick up Jeff Cobb. He cannot get him up. All very silly, but very enjoyable match. Mm-hmm. We also got, I think this is where the show really picked up for me, because we got the cross-promotional stuff, and we got to see the factions from both companies interact. We got the team of Hate teaming up with the War Dogs. Natsuko, Saya Kamatani teamed up with Gabe Kidd and Drilla Maloney. Gabe Kidd never stops talking.
Ever.
There's a bit during the entrance where he's coming down, and I think the merch that they had for this was fire. The Tekla shirts were great, but they also did this mashup of the Hate and Bullet Club logo for shirts that the War Dogs came down with. In the entire time, Gabe Kidd is in the camera talking as much shit as possible. He just never shuts up. Very, very entertaining to watch. I've been saying it all year. This guy is one of the most entertaining guys in New Japan right now. He takes every opportunity he can to get himself in front of eyeballs, to get you to pay attention to him and get you invested in him as a heel. He gets great heat. He was fantastic, of course. He's been fantastic all year, so not surprised. But on the other side, they faced Hanan and Saida and the ace, the president of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Funky Weapon himself, Taguchi. Taguchi was hysterical in this match. All of his interactions with Saya Kamatani, where Saya was just like paying him a little bit of attention, and he's like swooning over her. And at one point, he like tries to wrap his arms around her, and I'm like, I don't think you can get away with that, Taguchi.
Do that.
It's crazy times out here. You gotta be careful, bro. Like.
Some of them bits.
Some of those bits were kind of wild. Like at one point, she's walking up to him in the middle of the ring, and he just like hurls his hands down his tights. I'm like, whoa, whoa,
hurls,
bro. Because you had to see how violently he did it. I'm like, yo, hold on, hold on.
Definitely can't do that.
You can't do that. But man, this was some of the funniest interplay between the girls from Stardom and the New Japan wrestlers. This was a very entertaining match. The bad guys picked up the win here. In the end, Natsuko has been, for whatever reason, on Tanahashi's neck. This match ended, and outside of the ring, we saw that Natsuko hit him with the miss, and she's like got him up against the barricade, beating him down. And so he's on the ground, rolling around, like trying to get the mist out of his eyes, writhing in pain. And the whole time the heels are like triumphant, raising their hands. Gabe Kidd is talking all this trash, and Natsuko gets on the mic. By the way, I'm not done with you. When I see you again, it's still on site. and after this, Gabe Kidd has nothing to do with this. He gets in and gets some cheap shots in on him, hits him with a knee. Like, all of these guys, I was like, man, poor Tanahashi, man. He's getting it from all sides. Drilla Maloney got him a little shot in at one point. He's yelling in the camera.
Listen, if you want to get up, you want to be up, you go over on the president. I feel him.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. We got this is going to be a divisive match. This was one of the more interesting matches announced coming into the show because it's an intergender match, very clearly set up as an intergender match. But Suzu Suzuki took on Great Khan for the KOPW championship. This was an intergender hardcore match. Right away, you saw how silly this match was going to be because Zuzu is coming down to the ring with this huge styrofoam board with a bunch of plastic forks sticking up on it. I was like, oh no, none of this is to be taken seriously. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no, this is not to be taken seriously. There were parts of it that were a bit kind of uncomfortable, but I thought that was the point with the kind of match that they were doing. Great Khan played into all of this very well. He made Zuzu look like, man, she took all of the punishment he dished out early in this match. He was beating on her, and she just kept coming back for more. But then, once she got the upper hand, he sold his ass off for her. Kudos to him for that. Of course, Great Khan did pick up the win and retained his belt, and he rubbed it in, put his foot on her neck, and got some heat on it. I thought, for what this was, I enjoyed it, but I could also see some people very much not liking this. I do think this is going to be one of those things coming away from this show where some people are going to be like, oh, that was fun, and other people are going to be like, this is exactly why I don't like intergender wrestling. It's such a polarizing topic. I personally don't see anything wrong with intergender wrestling, but I know some people that's a line they don't want to cross.
Yeah, there's some people, and the reasons that they have are, I'm like, all right, I guess. Like, I'm all for intergender wrestling. Just a bunch of wrestlers in their wrestling. We know they're not really punching each other in the face. Like, it's wrestling. I get it. So, but the people that are totally against it and they have some reasons, like, I understand it. Remember Tekla talked about it in our interview, how like they don't really, in Japan, they're not super for intergender wrestling. So like even doing little moments like this is a special occasion and something they're not normally into. So it's interesting to see how it'll go moving forward.
Yeah. I do think that you saw more and more of the women interacting, even in the 8-man match or the eight-man mixed match that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, the ref was trying to enforce the rules, but they were very much the men putting hands on women and back and forth throughout this match. So it was very loose at certain points. It wasn't just straightforward mixed match rules, and I enjoyed that. I think some of the best interactions throughout this show were between the men and the women. I think it would have been kind of a disservice if you're going to put all of these wrestlers on this card and not do any of that.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense because, like, that's part of the draw of this.
Yes. We got one of the matches that got the most attention and had, like, the most storyline build coming into this match. Tai Chi and Natsupoi taking on Clark Connors and Tekla. Clark and Tekla are fantastic together. Their chemistry, you can tell that they are really friends in real life. They played up several points during this match that they might be more than friends, and I'm just like, because the name of their team is Violence and Sex. They also are Clark and Tex. Clark and Tex is, of course, on both of their gear. But the way they interact with each other, Clark being Clark, Clark is a wild dude. The way he was interacting with other people in this match, the way I think he got the best out of the intergender matches because he was getting legit heat. He was getting booed at several points. Every time he went to put his hands on Natsupoi, that crowd was booing him. And every time Natsupoi got the better of him, they cheered their heads off. And that's because they did such a good job during the tag league of introducing Clark into this dynamic with Tekla. And so it worked very well in front of this crowd. I thought the match itself was a lot of fun. All of these people, Taichi's one of those guys where I know the bit of him coming out and doing the singing and stuff, it seems hokey. This guy can really wrestle. I think he's, for a long time, had like this stigma of, oh, he's just a guy that comes out and does the bits. And he actually is very, very good wrestler. He's much better than people give him credit for. And he was fantastic here. He's another one. Him snatching his tearaway pants off and swinging them in the air shouldn't be nearly as funny as it is. But the way he is like, his conviction to it every time.
He's so serious about it.
He is dead serious. He's like swinging them around his head. So funny. But yeah, like I said, the real highlight of this match was Clark and Tekla's chemistry together. At one point, Tekla did his gore. They were they played off each other very well. But at the same time, because Natsupoi and Taichi have teamed up before, in the first historic crossover, they had history together. They also worked very well together. Tekla healing it up at certain points, using that cast multiple times. At one point, she blocks a move and she uses the cast to hurt Natsupoi. Natsupoi is targeting the arm. All of that dynamic from their match earlier this year in October and their exchange to the tag league. All great stuff. One of the big highlights of this, I'm sure that GIF is all over social media now, is Tekla teeing her up to get speared by Clark again because he's been spearing her and taunting her this whole time. And so he goes for the big spear, and she super kicks him out of it and hulks up and just is hitting him with these very stiff kicks. And he finally gets his comeuppance. That crowd erupted for it. It was one of the highlights of the night because, again, they've done so much to build up to that moment. It felt earned. And so that was great to see how well that paid off for everybody involved. Natsupoi and Taichi did pick up the win here. I had the most fun with this match and the main event, and of course, the other match we're going to get into, which is easily match of the night. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Natsupoi is fantastic. If you have not watched Natsupoi's run this year with the white belt, she's incredible. The way she moves in ring, like the gymnastics, the high spots she does. She does kind of that same move that Alexa does off the top rope, the Twisted Bliss. But it just looks fantastic when she does it. She's one of those wrestlers from Stardom where nobody really kind of moves like her. She's fantastic.
That's really exciting to hear about this match because they did do a lot of storytelling and build up for this. Like they were selling the show, you know?
Yes, I feel like they were really a big part of selling point for this. I thought that they got the most out of the cross promotional stuff in terms of like doing the stuff with Tag League, bringing Clark in, and the social media aspect of it. They did a lot to promote this.
Right.
But easily match of the night, Mayu Iwatani taking on Momo Watanabe for the IWGP Women's Championship. Easily match of the night. This was fantastic. Momo had all of her cronies out there helping her. I meant to mention this when we interviewed Tekla. The way they use that box, that black box during their matches is so funny. At one point during Tekla's match with Natsupoi in October, she's got her in this pinning predicament. And out of nowhere, off camera, you see the black box just fly in and break up the pin. And it's so out of nowhere. It's so funny. And so with some more of that here, they kept trying to interfere. But the story here is that Momo has gotten close to winning the big win multiple times, but she can't get over the hump. Mayu is that big obstacle for her. So she has the chance to cheat at one point. She has her bat, and the ref's back is turned, but she tosses it away, and she shows, even though she's turned heel, even though she's not a member of Queen's Quest anymore, she still wants to earn this win over Mayu. And that's partially her undoing, because Mayu just ends up just taking everything she throws at her and just gets up and just turns into zombie Mayu, like we've seen multiple times. That clip of her eating all those Storm Zeros this year, it's kind of the same thing. Like you gotta really put Mayu down to beat her. And of course, she picked up the win, an impressive 8 title defenses as IWGP Women's Champion.
Wow.
She did a promo afterwards where she talked about how frustrated she was that she has had this belt and she does want this belt to mean something. And she was angry that she did not get a chance to defend it at the Tokyo Dome this year. And so January 4th, she wants a match. And I think the great thing about her demanding that match is that she's done so much to prove that with the IWGP lineage from New Japan, whether it be the Global Championship, any championship you want to name, she's been one of the best champions among them. 8 title defenses. She's had several incredible matches this year. The Toni Storm match, the Suri match, this match. She has been on an absolute tear. She earned a spot on that card for Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
And she is going to get her match because right afterwards, Azumi came out to challenge her. And they made it official right after the match. I believe the graphic is already up. Mayu versus Azumi.
Wow.
At the Tokyo Dome.
Wow.
Very much excited for that. Both of these wrestlers deserve that spot. They are fantastic. And in order for the IWGP Women's Championship to mean something, they need to put it in this position. I, like Mayu, was very disappointed that there was no women's title match on the pay-per-view this year. So very much glad that they're rectifying that. And hopefully that this belt becomes a fixture going forward. I kind of think that Azumi is going to be the one to beat Mayu, though. And I'm not 100% sure on it, but there are multiple things about it that make me think that. But we'll see going into Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. But, man, very much excited for that match. Very glad that Mayu is getting that spot. She has earned it.
That's exciting for that championship because, like you said, in order for that championship to really get to prominence, it has to be featured next to the other IWGP championships. You can't just have her on the other side while everybody's doing this over here. And while she is on the other side having this incredible run, having these incredible matches, these two women are going to tear it fucking down at the Tokyo Dome too. I think beyond all of that, like you got 2 of the best Japanese women's wrestlers in the world that are going to get this big opportunity and to defend this championship. It's going to be great.
Yes. So yeah, very excited about that news. We've kind of got where the title picture is going after the tag league. It kind of feels like Starlight Kid will be wrestling for the white belt coming up soon at the Stardom pay-per-view during Wrestle Kingdom week. And it kind of feels like Micah is gunning for the red belt. So those two things are happening at once. And Mayu, of course, has the big match. And on top of that, we got the big announcement that we will be getting the International Women's Cup at Wrestle Dynasty.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome news. Such a great idea. I'm glad whoever came up with this did a very smart idea.
Yeah, that knowing what potential women could be in this and that it's going to lead to a big match at the show, I think this is exciting all around. More women getting to represent at these big shows is awesome, and the potentials for who could be in this match, in all of these matches, I think is awesome.
Yeah. If you have not seen the announcement, for context, they're going to set up a fatal 4-way for Ring of Honor, CMLL, Stardom, and AEW. The winner of those matches will go on to enter a fatal 4-way for the Women's Cup at Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th.
Sick. So we get a sick IWGP Women's Championship match on January 4th. And then on January 5th, we get this 4-way women's match at Wrestle Dynasty. Like, that's going to be really good.
Yeah. We talked about a little bit on Ask Grapsody, and we talked about who we like to see from each. And I'm a little disappointed with myself because now that I think about ROH, Layla Hirsch should be one of the 4 in that fatal 4-way. I completely forgot about that. But, I mean, as for the rest, I think we were pretty much Athena, Red Velvet. We were in agreement on. Then, like I said, Layla Hirsch makes a lot of sense for me.
Amanada?
Amanada makes sense. Trisha Dora is another one.
Trisha Dora, she has some representation in a couple of these different companies, so that would make a lot of sense too.
New Japan Dojo as well, so she has that connection. Stardom is an interesting one. There are people I want to see in it, but I'm not sure. Man, I can't wait to see who they announce for that one. They've already announced the 4 for CMLL, and I have to assume on the women's side from AEW, probably Willow, Anna Jay.
Yeah. That one, because the AEW has a pretty deep women's roster that they could fill into this.
Maybe
Sheeta's a great idea. I think you want to put some like a stat type one in there in like the final spot, you know. But Sheeta in there.
Yeah, the idea of Sheeta wrestling on a New Japan show sounds really cool.
That sounds so good.
But I like Willow makes a lot of sense based on
Willow has connections to everything, essentially.
She has the connections to CMLL, has the connections to Ring of Honor, was a former New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Yeah, excited for that. I think that's going to be one of the highlights of that weekend.
But yeah, my pick is Athena, no matter what. Like for the 4-way and to win the whole thing, like I'm Team Athena, because like she's talked about wanting to get in Japan. Like,
yes,
let's go. Come on.
Yes. Yeah, that's my pick from Ring of Honor. Absolutely, I think it should be Athena. My pick from AEW is probably Willow. I think from CMLL it's probably going to be Sux's. And Stardom, I really would like to see Shuri. I think that would be dope.
I think she has a pretty. I was gonna say Azumi, but her getting this new match announced, that probably would take her out of this running. You know.
Oh, Mina makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Mina. Yeah, you gotta have Mina on that show. I think with how over she is, dude. So yeah, probably put her in there.
Yeah, but yeah, very much looking forward to that. The main event was strong as well. We had Zack Sabre Jr., the winner of this year's G1 Climax, teaming up with Micah, the winner of this year's 5-star Grand Prix, taking on the team of Desperado and Starlight Kid. Man, Starlight Kid and Desperado, I knew they were going to bring it in terms of the presentation, their gear, the entrance, so good, the way they came out. Starlight Kid is doing the dramatic and dancing around doing all the theatrics. Desperado's like, yeah, I'm here to just bow.
Also,
they're matching masks, like they wore each other's masks, and then when they pulled them off, they were a mashup of each other's masks. Their gear and everything looked great. Their entrance was great. Despy did his split, and SOK did her version of it too. All of that looked great. Their chemistry together, their tandem offense looked great. They had their like little high five they were doing. They had their handshake they were doing. I mean, they were a lot of fun to watch. But
yeah, the first stuff I had saw from this show online was their tandem offense and how they were working together, and it just looks so fluid and cool.
Yeah, again, one of the big appeals of bringing these two companies together is those kind of mashups where you have wrestlers that have a similar style and have a similar presentation, and you can put them together and see how they work together. Those two worked very well together. Micah and Zach also very dominant together. They end up picking up the win here with the Stereo, Michinoku Driver, and the Zach Driver. looked very strong for two people that won two of the biggest tournaments of the year for their company. Micah's still looking strong going into potentially a big match with Tam. I got the feeling that Micah's going to beat Tam. It just feels like it's inevitable. I kind of thought that maybe Micah would end up champion right after the 5-star Grand Prix, but the fact that they're moving into a rematch feels like she's going to win this time around.
Right. Exciting. Yeah, that's a good way to end the show, too.
And I want to see Starlight Kid win that big win. She's, of course, been high-speed champion. She had the great heel run at one point, but she's been hovering around like that white title for a while now. So I would love to see her win the Wonder of Stardom belt.
Yeah.
Man, they have a lot of exciting stuff building around that show and building around Wrestle Kingdom weekend. Like we said earlier, got the announcement that Kenny Omega will officially be facing Gabe Kidd. Very much looking forward to that. What that represents, all of this of Kenny Omega, like, I don't even know what this guy's problem is. And Gabe Kidd is just like, fuck you, fight me, pussy.
Ken's like, why is he so angry?
Nah, he got my name wrong. That's not my name.
That's exciting, though. Kenny Omega's back, you guys. Like,
yeah.
That's it.
Big. We've also officially got the Zack Sabre Ricochet match on the Wrestle Dynasty card.
Which is also why that sounds crazy when you say it. Like, what?
Yes. Takeshita's wrestling on that card. Takeshita's got a match coming up on Wrestle Kingdom card as well. Both of those cards are shaping up very nicely.
My God.
January is always like the best time of the year for me in terms of wrestling. Royal Rumble is not going to be in January. That's probably my favorite WWE pay-per-view. But like usually Wrestle Kingdom, Royal Rumble, so much happening around January. I get a lot. It's like Christmas for wrestling fans.
Yeah. The best way to start the year and kind of set the vibes for sure. New Japan always does it. They've had so many great main events over there, but this year it feels like a different energy. Having the AEW attachment, having Stardom attachment, it feels really good. I feel like these Wrestle Kingdom and Dynasty shows are going to be fire.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of fun stuff to get into. Now let me get into some Rubber Chats. I wanted to get that card out of the way so we didn't get too lost in the sauce with other wrestling talk that I didn't get to get into that.
Smart. I'll get into a couple of the super chats while you're picking those up. Grapple Geekery says, just got off work and driving 2 hours to watch AEW Full Gear. Once again, Grapsody is my Saturday soundtrack as I listen on catch up. Be well, folks. Appreciate you, Grapple Geekery. Safe travels out there, and you're about to see a crazy show.
Yeah.
And then my partner from the California Connection, Denise Salcedo, says, Reg and I are doing an AEW Full Gear watch-along tonight, all caps. This is an ad, LOL. Thanks, Denise. We're going to be on again later tonight. Paid ad on Denise's channel. We're going to be watching Full Gear. You guys know how we get down. I'm very excited to do that, and I hope to see you all there. Appreciate you, Denise. See you very soon.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. Got some humper chats from Tony P. He says, SmackDown felt better than Raw this week. It wasn't because of all this promos. I guess because SmackDown felt more connected for me as a show than Monday did. Rampage was missable except for the opening and Harley, man. Rampage has kind of become Harley's show.
Rampage is where Harley really gets to do her thing, and she really gets to shine. I watched SmackDown before we got on this podcast, so interesting stuff going on there. I did feel like all the segments had stories, so that was interesting.
Yeah, we'll get into more SmackDown talk in a few. Tony P also says, I'm loving the character of Harley because she is a story in herself. She is literally the embodiment of a new wrestler's journey to trying to find themselves. This with the fact that she's funny and people can relate to finding themselves made her connect. Yeah, I think it's a lot of what people liked about some other Aussie natives and Iconics. I see a lot of those same vibes of what people liked in Billy Kay. Yep. And man, it's hidden. Like you can see it. Like she's figuring out and it's clicking. And I think that's what's connecting with people because people watched her from some of the stuff that did not hit. And so now you see it clicking more and more. People love it.
Yeah, anytime like fan base could see a wrestler grow and know that they are working hard to improve, they're gonna connect to that. And that's what exactly it feels like with Harley. Like you said, we saw her in some moments where we're like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But like since then, she's shined in every single position she's put in.
Yes. He also says her interactions with Rosa has me guessing about the possible road ahead for her. Will she start teaming with Rosa? If that happens, when Saraya returns, could it lead to Saraya Rosa feud with Harley in the middle? Harley's star is bright. Yeah, I did see Saraya tweeting like, "You guys are pissing me off." I do think they're kind of teeing up a potential tag team match with somebody. Maybe it's going to be Saraya and Harley versus Mariah and Mina. Maybe it's going to be something including Thunder Rosa. I don't know, but I'm here for it either way.
Yeah, especially if she's going to keep cooking like that, give it up.
See more from Tony P. He said, "I've also been ready for Wrestle Kingdom and Dynasty. I really want to see who is going to be in the women in the 4 women's match. I personally want Athena, Sheeta / Queen, Micah, and Persephone. The Konosuke Shingo match is going to hump. Oh, we also still need Shingo Swerve. Ooh, Shingo Swerve sounds fire.
Ooh, yeah. Like what's Swerve's role in Dynasty? Does Lashley play a role in Wrestle Dynasty? Like there's so many interesting bits still to be developed out of this. But Shingo and Takeshita is like, and on January 4th, Phil, like what that date represents, what that locker room's gonna do, unbelievable, unreal.
Yeah, I hope Swerve is on Wrestle Dynasty. I popped huge for him being in Tokyo Sport and like just what that meant. So hopefully he does get a spot on that card.
Yeah.
So our last one from Tony P says, "Oh, and before I forget, I finished the penciling for a short comic about Swerve. Check it out and give a prompt for me, whoever follows me on Blue Sky." Yeah, nice. Check that out. Sometimes I get super busy, so sometimes I'll see a notification and I'll read it, and then I'll like start doing something else and go, "Oh man, I didn't respond to that." So you probably sent me something, and I probably just thought I responded to it and blanked on it.
Same here. Appreciate you, Tony P.
Yeah, appreciate you as always, Tony P. From Van Twin Blade, he says, I was a list when I sent it. I hit enter after every match." Bro, the commas, bro, you got to add some commas, man, because I'll be struggling trying to figure out how these are supposed to be split up sometimes. But I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, Van Twin Blade.
See, from Javier from Texas, forgot the Linkin Park album came out until you guys mentioned it on Ask Grapsody. Hot take, it's their best album since Meteora. Minutes to Midnight was fine, but everything afterwards was poppy for me. Yeah, I can understand that. Minutes to Midnight was very divisive when it came out. I remember that time period. I remember being on message boards when that came out, and longtime Linkin Park fans were not happy.
Facts.
Because
I was one of them.
It's hard to watch your band grow up with you, and they were covering more mature things. They were getting more political, and so yeah,
they came in all black. They're all businessed out. It looked different.
Yeah, very different from their first 2 albums, and those first 2 albums are so well received. Anytime any band or artist changes in any way, people are like, "No, just keep doing that thing that I discovered you doing. I love this. Keep doing that. Don't change."
And that's what exactly the new album felt like. It feels like those first 2 albums. Feels like the stuff that we came to love Linkin Park for, you know?
Yes. But of course, this is going to come with its divisive crowd as well. I'm sure people are going to be like, "Oh, Scientology." I don't care about any of this person's beliefs. There are people that listen to their music, and I don't go to them for political or religious beliefs. I don't care about their beliefs, man.
There's some people that we like a lot that their beliefs are crazy.
There are some people that you guys love that you don't want to know their political or religious opinions. Sometimes, listen, just give me the music.
Some
Just
people
give me
that
the
y'all
music.
love, straight up, you do not want to know what they're doing behind them closed doors.
Just give me the music. I don't want to know the rest. Keep that over there. Long as you're not like harming anybody or
Right.
outright doing anything malicious, I don't want it. Keep it over there. I believe that is all of our Humper chats for now. Of course, if you want to send us some Humper chats before we finish up and get up out of here, humperchats.com/Fightful. Like I said, SmackDown was very eventful last night. We got more War Game stuff for Raw. Raw was fine. I thought the Sheamus Braun match was great until we got the interference at the end, which seems to be setting up the possibly a triple threat for Survivor Series. So I'm not mad at it. I'm glad that Ludwig is getting in that kind of position, but that match was hidden before he got involved. I was like, damn, I just kind of wanted a clean finish to it because we're having fun, bro.
I wish they would stop, though. My biggest pet peeve and complaint about this fucking company is distraction finishes. They cannot help themselves, dude. They'll do like 4
We saw
shows.
so many.
Like, dude, stop. Just do a damn finish. You don't have to hit somebody's music every fucking match. Hit his music. No, man, stop doing this.
You're sitting on the podcast like, nah, stop doing this. And somebody in creative's like, don't stop.
I don't know how I fell into that one.
The amount of time that I think about that clip regularly and laugh at it, I sometimes think maybe
Don't
something wrong with me.
stop.
I shouldn't be laughing at that. But it's so
Damn
funny.
Lil Wayne.
But yeah, we got more of the Rollins and Bloodline stuff. The Bloodline guys were still trying to get Rollins to join them. He's like, nah, I'm never teaming up with that guy. And he said outright, like, it hurts me to say this. That guy's my brother, but I'm not going to help that guy get power. And I've seen people say, you know, it doesn't make sense it wouldn't have made sense for him to join him. I think that it personally would have if this is all building to a redemption arc. But the more and more I think about this, I think he's going to end up being vindicated because I think he's going to end up being right about Roman. I don't think that Roman has changed enough, and it's shown in a lot of stuff he did because he hasn't gone to get any of these people to join him. It's all been somebody else. Jimmy did the heavy lifting to get Jay, and then Jimmy and Jay did the heavy lifting to get Sammy. Roman is still walking around like, I don't need anybody. Bro, you are getting your ass whooped. People
He's still
hate
walking
you.
around like, y'all got me. Like, he's not even worried about
He's still
this. You know
he's
what I mean?
still walking around very arrogant, like he don't need no help. And bro, you are getting mopped, bro. You need the help. Like you don't have the right to be this picky about who helps you. There are a lot of people that they're talking to like, no, never. I never stand next to that
Not
guy,
helping that
including
fool.
Rollins. And so I think it doesn't help his case that he didn't come to Rollins directly and have a conversation with him and show him that he's changed. And I think that part of it makes it make more sense that Rollins like, nah. Because he's still playing. He's still sending y'all around like his lackeys, and y'all don't even see that.
Right.
And so,
And we have a way bigger, longer relationship than him sending a fool to come get me for him. This was what he was trying to do before. This is the issue, you guys.
Yeah, but they successfully got me thinking that Rollins was going to be in this. We talked about it on Ask Grapsody. With everything they've built for the last week, I'm like, oh, it's going to be Rollins. But as soon as Bronson joined that team, I was like, it's going to be Rollins. And I called this Raw to a T. It went exactly like I thought. He's still saying, nope, not never, hardly ever. And then he gets out there and he wrestles Braun. I thought this match was better than the Crown Jewel match up to the distraction finish. I thought they were killing it. And then, of course, we get the solo stuff. He helps Bronson win. They stand tall. And I thought, okay, this is going to be the thing that gets Rollins to change his mind because I think in all of this, he's like, this guy hasn't changed. He's still just trying to get power. And Solo and those guys, that's Roman's problem. That ain't my problem.
Yep.
So I thought once they interfered, that would show him, no, they're a big threat to everybody. They're out of control. And I thought it would show him the same thing that he saw with the Cody stuff of, hey, I hate Cody, But those guys, they're out of control, and I have to help him win because they're a bigger problem. This affects all of us. Yeah. But I didn't pay attention to that. Sammy basically worded it exactly like that to Rollins in his pitch to try and get him to help him, and he still wasn't trying to hear it. He was like, "No, this isn't the same at all," because I think he's still in his mind thinking, "Guys, he hasn't changed."
Yeah.
And so we get all.
And I love how Rollins like, next time I'm in the ring with that fool, I'm stomping him out. I'm not about to be helping him to achieve something that he created. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
No. Stuck to his guns. I was expecting him to show up on SmackDown. He did not. The other part that we got on Raw, they've been building and putting the pieces together for the women's War Games match. We got the return of Rhea Ripley. I was very surprised because
very shocking.
I did not think Rhea Ripley would be back this year. With the way that they talked about how serious that injury was, I didn't think we would see her until next year. So
yeah, when they were, I had saw the advertisement, the flyer for the show, and Rhea Ripley. I'm like, damn, Rhea Ripley's back. I did not expect her to be back so quickly. But then, like thinking about it over years, there's been some wrestlers that have had the same kind of injury, and they've came back with the same kind of thing, some like protective mask, and because like the rest of their body could still go, as long as you kind of protect the orbital bone, then things could be okay. So that's pretty cool for her.
Yeah, big pop for her as usual when she shows up and people are not expecting her. Yeah. All of this stuff continues to make me believe I'm ready for this Liv stuff to be over.
Do you think that they should just give Rhea back the belt? Because I would just on Monday. Hey.
I'm ready, but they're clearly not going to get there until after Survivor Series.
Right.
But I was very confused because I've been talking on this podcast about how much Bayley is integral into the story they're building for the babyface team for the War Games match. So I was confused when it looked like they had their 5 members. They got me again. They looked like they were going in a direction, and then Rhea showed up. I was like, oh, I guess I was wrong. Maybe not. Maybe not. Because we got some more stuff to set up the women's match on SmackDown. Not for nothing. I said this on a SmackDown post show last night. The women's stuff on SmackDown is so much better than the stuff on Raw. It feels like it's not just I feel that Nia is a better champion at the moment. I feel like they do a better job of utilizing the women's division over there.
Exactly. All the women are after Nia. Everybody's like, we want that belt. Like that's what this division is about, becoming champion.
Yeah, it's not just that. They all have their own things going. Like when you watch the United States tournament match and the way that crowd was behind Chelsea, there were people ready to boo if she lost. Right. And that just tells you how good of a job they've done of making you care about her. That's, of course, a testament to Chelsea and the character work she's done. People really want to see her move forward. We've seen Bianca as champion. They want something new. And, like, for a character, same thing that we're talking about with Harley and how she's getting over doing the comedy stuff and people are connecting with her. People like Chelsea Green.
They do. Yeah, that is the testament to the women's division and giving them time and giving them the opportunities to do some different things and set themselves up. Yeah, it feels like night and day for the women's division over there. It feels like all the women have a story or trying to be involved in the story or connected to something. It's refreshing.
Yeah, so you have multiple things happening. You have the big 3 on its own. Then you have the stuff between Bianca and Bayley. You have Naomi in the middle. You have the tease of Naomi and Bayley potentially becoming a tag team because they've worked as a tag team multiple times now. They even worked as a tag team on Friday. You have Piper and Chelsea. You have Michin, who is another person I think could easily step in and win the United States tournament. You still have Tiffany Stratton with the briefcase. You have so many interesting bits happening with the women. And it's crazy because up until recently, they had less time. Yeah. They had a 2-hour show. Raw had a 3-hour show. And it just feels like they're getting so much more use out of the women over there. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the women, shout out to the women too, who are executing in their positions. Everybody stepping up. Like you said, Nia has been great in her position.
Yes.
Tiffany's been great. All the supporting players have been trying to push this division to a higher level.
Yes. I agree, Hassan. When you look at the talent level, like what EO's doing on Raw, you got Rhea over there. You would think with the talent over there that they would be doing more with the women, but it's just night and day between what they're doing with the women on SmackDown. I think that the women are easily the highlight of SmackDown most weeks. But yeah, we got more leading into this because in the United States tournament, Bianca was taking on Blair Davenport and Chelsea. Going into this, it felt like, all right, well, Bianca's just going to win. And at some points when the crowd was heating up for Chelsea and they looked like they were going to boo, I was like, oh, man, I think they're going to be disappointed when Bianca wins. But we got Swerve on the Titantron, revealed that Jade got attacked.
Jade's dead on the card.
Somebody in our chat last night for the post show said that Jade was doing a Yamcha pose where she was curled up.
Somebody killed Jade and nobody knows who.
Yeah, the popular fabulous quote, somebody did this.
Somebody did this.
Yeah, the whodunit aspect is interesting, but there are two things here. This is a way to circle back to the Bailey stuff, of course, because I was wondering, all right, you gotta give us a payoff to the tension with Bianca. But the other thing is, it feels like this is a way to protect Jade by not overexposing her in the War Games match.
Yep. Well, wasn't Jade also supposed to be in a United States tournament match too, wasn't he? And I thought that also played her. I'm like, they're kind of killing two birds with one stone. They're not going to overprotect her or overexpose her in War Games, and they don't have to have her take a loss in this Women's United States Championship tournament because she's not going to win.
That's the other part. I don't think they want her to take a loss in the first or second round. And so she was scheduled to take part in the triple threat next week, but now it's TBA. I think that's where we're going to see Big Charlotte Flair make her big return as the mystery.
Teflon Donna's coming back. It's over for y'all hoes.
Because my logic is I think that Bayley's going to replace her on the War Games match. But, of course, she can't replace her in the tournament because Bayley's already in the tournament.
Yeah.
So this seems like this is a perfect spot to bring Charlotte back and for her to take part in the United States tournament. Of course, the SmackDown next week is taped, so I think there's spoilers out there. I have not seen the spoilers, but this is just my guess. I think it's going to be Charlotte that's in. Now, the whodunit aspect is very interesting. I think this was purposely done with Bianca and the tension with Bayley because, of course, number one suspect that Bianca's going to come back and point to is Bayley.
It's Bayley.
Because she's going to go, wait a minute, this all worked out perfectly. I disappeared to go help my friend, and then you buddy up with them, and you're going to end up in this War Games match buddying up with all of these people while I'm away. How convenient for you. And this takes me out of the tournament, so I don't have a chance to win.
Very convenient. You don't have to face me in this tournament. Like, you've been ducking me and dodging me anyways. Like, what's up?
I think that she's going to think that it's Bayley that did this. Of course, I don't think that it was Bayley.
I don't think it's Bayley.
There are a couple options here. Rhea and Raquel were there tonight. Maybe Rhea did this because they attacked... Sorry, not Rhea. Liv and Raquel. Liv and Raquel were there. They attacked Rhea backstage at NXT. Maybe this is a repeat of that. I kind of feel like if that was the case, if it was them or if it was Nia and Tiffany, they would have just revealed that. They wouldn't have made it a mystery.
Right.
We have other options. Maybe it was Lash and Jakara. Maybe it was the Witches. They still have heat with Bianca.
Yeah, because it could be them. It could be a tag team trying to get one over on them tag team championships.
Yes. I don't think it's any of those people. I think Jade is behind this whole thing. I think Jade is faking this injury. I think Jade is inevitably going to turn heel, and I think this is the start of it.
She's doing like a thin line between love and hate deal.
She put
She's
the
really
orange
crazy.
she put the orange in the stocking.
Okay, I see it. I feel you.
Now that's my out of left field theory, because very convenient that nobody saw who attacked her. And again,
Right.
if it was just as simple as it was Piper and Chelsea or one of these other teams that have beef with them, I think they would have just revealed that. Why would they make it a mystery? Now, you could say maybe it's Bianca. Maybe they're going to tease a Bianca heel turn. I don't
Bianca?
believe that. I just believe they have too much money invested in her right now to turn her. The way this company acts when they know they have a hot baby face, I don't see them turning her. I think if you're going to do a one-on-one feud between them two, the obvious choice to make the heel is Jade.
I mean, and then you could tell the story of Jade starts to blame Bianca, and then that's the way she turns on her. You know what I mean? Like she's like, oh, maybe it's Bianca doing this, and then people are like Bianca, and then Jade's really the one that's doing it. You know?
They've already started teeing up the stuff on Raw that, do you guys even really get along?
Right.
And Jade has all the reasons in the world to feel like, I don't need Bianca. I've been winning my matches. You are the one that keeps losing.
Right.
I don't need you. I've been winning my matches alone. Naya's a problem for you. She ain't a problem for me. I kicked her out of the Rumble on my own. I didn't lose my Queen of the Ring qualifier match to her. She had to get disqualified to beat me. She beat you. So I could see this being very much like Jade doing some conniving stuff behind the scenes. And what I brought up last night when we talked about it on the post show is that tweet from a few weeks ago where she said, I miss stepping on people's necks, being that bitch. And I think the people that ran with, oh, she just missing being AEW. I don't think that's what she was saying. I think she misses being a heel. And
She misses playing. She's playing nice right now, and she misses being the person that she really is.
yeah. So even if Jade is not behind this, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
She will be a heel again. That's where she's at her best. And it makes all the sense in the world for them to protect her in this sense, take her out of a situation where she could possibly get exposed, and like you said, protect her from a loss in the tournament. So, and this is a way you can put Charlotte in this tournament. Charlotte potentially winning next week and going on to face whoever
Win
in
the whole thing.
I don't think she's going to win the whole thing. I think the opportunity for her to face whoever's in the semifinals, because the other triple threat after next week, it's, I believe, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Piper, I believe. I have to double check that, but I believe Piper's the third person. The option of potentially having Naomi versus Charlotte, they've always had great TV matches. That makes a lot of sense. I think that Naomi should move on to the finals and potentially win. Also, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte is right there.
Yeah. I just don't know if they want to get to that one so quickly. You know them.
I kind of feel like it makes more sense for Naomi to win.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to stretch that Charlotte and Tiffany shit for some time.
Yes. But yeah, Charlotte has, of course, also started teasing her return on Twitter. And that kind of lines up with next week. So I do think we will see Charlotte before this year is over. And I'm excited to see Charlotte. I always believe that it helps a wrestler to go away for a little while.
It does.
Unfortunately, she was forced to go away because of the knee injury. But I think that it helped her in the long run because it gave us time to miss her. And I think she's going to come back in a big way heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, we all know Charlotte's amazing. All the but everybody knows she deserves everything that she does. But, like, she was dominant for so many years and continuously being champion. You go away for a little bit, people are going to remember, oh, yeah, Charlotte Flair is one of them ones. She's one that brought us to prominence, and she's going to be a great time for her to come back and be put into some positions where she could shine, where everybody could shine.
Yes.
They need Becky back, too.
Yes, they do. I'm very much wondering when Becky could be back. I wonder if she's going to be back by the time they go to Netflix. That seems like it makes the most sense.
At that show, probably.
Yeah. Yeah,
big
in
dome.
LA. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the women's stuff is heating up for the War Games match. I do think that Bayley is going to reluctantly end up on this team with some of her ops. Bianca, EO. It's so funny because all the other people are like friendly with her. Like Rhea is. You see, like Naomi is one of her best friends on the roster right now.
Yeah.
But the other people are looking around like, Bayley.
Don't like her.
It's so funny how petty that Bianca's being with this because she just has no problem with teaming with EO, even though EO was right there making her life living hell with damage control. But Bayley, I'm not letting you move on from this. It's for life.
The funniest thing is EO was finishing a lot of those beatdowns too with her moonsault. Like the last thing you would see is EO flying over your body.
Yeah. But I think that there's a certain respect level because they've had the matches on Raw now. And so as competitors, I think they respect each other. But other than that, it just looks so funny that she's like, all them other damage control people are cool. Bayley, though, nah, I don't fuck with Bayley.
It was her fault.
Yeah, I can definitely see her pulling up next week and blaming Bayley for all of this.
She's going to. She should.
Yes. But to get back into the men's War Game stuff, big story of this week, we officially have a 5th member for the OG Bloodline team. Did not think we would be here because, again, I did think this was going to be Seth Rollins. We even talked about it on Ask Grapsody, and I was just like, no, it makes more sense for it to be Rollins. But as I said on Blue Sky, when we got the reveal, I'm phony because I was excited. I was like, oh, yeah, we're here, baby. Vibes is back. We started the show with a Bloodline segment. Surprise, surprise, SmackDown. Almost as surprising as seeing Triple H at the end of that big promo for the show on Netflix. You know he's going to be there. But your boy has been outside. He's out there with Travis, giving him a belt.
What is he doing, Phil? Credit boys are in the bill. I feel you. Like, we made it a bit, but this is crazy, dog. At the end of the Netflix video, dog, why are you... Showcase the people that are going to be wrestling on this show, dog. This is insane.
No, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that, bro. We started the night with Solo giving the OG Bloodline an ultimatum because
could have been an email also, dog. You guys could have did this backstage. I don't know why they prodded them out there to be like, I'm gonna see y'all later.
Yeah, they got out there, did their poses, walked out there, gave the ultimatum that we knew they were gonna give anyway, and then they just walked backstage. But I'll say, like I've been saying for 2 weeks now, Bronson with those guys makes all the sense in the world, bro. He looks great with them. He's benefited so much from the stuff with Rollins, and now this being paired with them, being in a major storyline. Great for him.
Looks like he belongs in there, honestly.
He
with
absolutely
them.
looks like he belongs. Like him standing next to Jacob, behind everybody is like the big, massive henchman. Love it. I think it fits perfectly. When he kept throwing up that one with him, I'm like, nah, he looks like he belongs, dog.
He did.
Big week. The way we were saying, big week for West Coast. Big week for Polynesian representation. I've seen that video of the protesters in New Zealand doing that haka, and bro, they were getting their shit off, bro. Salute to them, bro.
I love that video. Everybody just banding together. There's people up here. There's people down there. I'm like, oh no, this is lit.
Nah, they was sitting that haka hard. Homegirl pulled up that paper.
Like now, right now.
Nah, they was lit, man. Big week for Samoan Polynesian representation. I seen the homie Hanare. He was big up for him. Man, awesome to see that. But we got this ultimatum from Solo. Oh, you guys only have 4 members. Boo-hoo. We're going to win now. We got the numbers on our side, so you might as well just surrender because we already won, which makes no fucking sense, man, because you want me to believe by the end of the night they're not going to have a 5th member, which doesn't make sense. You know they're going to. And then on top of that, No, even if I don't think I have a fifth member, we're not just gonna surrender. Like, what are you talking about?
Stupid, dog. Like, we're gonna go get our ass beat in the war games if that's what you're gonna do. We'll go in 4-on-5 if that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna surrender right here to you.
Yes. So we get that segment to start the show. Then we get all of this stuff behind the scenes, which furthers my belief, dog. This guy Roman, man.
He's still walking around like his shit don't stink, Phil. Like all the segments, he's just like, I'm the king. This is my shit.
He's still
Y'all
walking around like
me.
He's still walking around like he has no worries. Like none of this is his fault. Yes. Like the fact that nobody wants to team with you is because of you. Everything you've been doing for the last 4 years, you ain't apologized to nobody. You ain't tried to make anything right.
Like, what's up with y'all? Why? What's wrong with y'all? What you mean? What's up with y'all?
So he's sitting backstage and he's trying to do it just like he did when the Bloodline was at its peak, where he's sitting in a chair and everybody's sitting around him like they're his underlings. And so they're all giving suggestions. Like at one point, Jay's like, what about Cody? And Jimmy's like, yeah, Cody. Roman's like, nah, that's old news. We don't need that. I'm like, bro, you don't have room to be picky, bro. You need help.
Anybody who's going to be on this team, you need to get him.
You need help. And so then somebody says Rollins again. Nah, I ain't teaming with Rollins. Bro. And this is the Rollins point. This guy ain't changed. You still think everybody's got to move on your time and that you're in control. You're not in control anymore. You're losing. To Jimmy's point at the very beginning of this, we ain't the ones no more. You ain't got no tribe. All of these guys that are teamed with you, even Jay and Sammy, they're only teamed with you for the common goal of taking those guys down. When this is over, they're not just going to follow you anymore. They don't need you anymore. Jay don't need to follow you around. He's his own guy now. So
I do love how they keep reiterating, like, this ain't about Roman, dog. This is about them. Like, he thinks like we're here to be he's here to be the tribal chief and we're going to stand in line. Now, that's not what this is at all.
Yeah. The other part of that showed in not just him facing the consequences of his actions with all this, you see just how much his tribe enriched him and how much they made him better. Without him, he's kind of nothing. He has no plan because the Wiseman isn't there to advise him. Like, he's going into this main event segment like, oh, we'll just get through it together. And they're like, what are we going to do? I don't know. I don't have a plan. Like, what do you mean? You're supposed to be leading us. Like, he's just kind of like, whatever, it'll work out. And so they get out there. They go out there to confront the new Bloodline. And they're standing there basically ready to get into a fight again. But they have no plan what to do. They have no fifth member.
They were playing it really good because even in Roman's face, you could tell like he didn't want to talk because he didn't have anything to say. Like, what am I going to say? I don't got anybody to announce that's going to come out here.
It's just like when he went out there and tried to talk to Solo before, and he just tried to manipulate him like, hey, I acknowledge you. It's fine. And then he was like, nah, say it like you mean it. Or what? And so it's just driving home the point. This guy hasn't changed. He's still just as selfish. The stuff last week of him waiting to the last minute and Jay urging him over and over, make the call.
Do it.
He waited until the end of all of this, till he had no other choice but to call Paul Heyman, and he didn't get an answer. Line cut off. And of course the line is cut off because you left this guy high and dry. You left him hanging. You let him get thrown through a table in Madison Square Garden, and you never came to help him.
Yep. And you're still reluctantly calling him right now.
Yeah. So all of this is leading to a big moment. Big pop for Paul Heyman's return.
Huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, that was a great moment. Say what you will about how rushed some of this Bloodline stuff is. I have my issues with the execution of it. But the callbacks, man, they're hitting, bro. The first time we saw all three of them in a ring together, that was going to hit. When Sammy joined them, I knew that was going to hit. Paul coming back, bro, it hit. Yeah. He came out, gave his spiel of, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, first of all, very funny. He came out with his suit, with his red shirt under there and his red handkerchief. He looked like he ran a restaurant somewhere in Queens. Like, yeah, this way, right this way. Got a table over here.
Definitely. Little Italian eatery.
He looked like he was about to hit the snap. Yeah. Over here. Get him a table right here. 2. But yeah, he came out, talked this shit a little bit. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but a War Games match cannot be 4v5. It has to be 5. And this match will not be 4v5 because 5. He stands there. My man coming out taping his hands. Listen, bro. Again, I'm phony because I was sitting there like, oh no, it's up. It's up. We're back, baby. We are back.
I could tell too. Like, I didn't know where Phil was at the moment, but seeing Paul Heyman sitting there, soon as Punk comes walking out, wrapping his hands, I'm like, oh no, he going crazy right now.
He's up. Well, bro, I seen it, man. Listen. And the whole time I'm sitting telling people, like, it almost felt like Survivor Series all over again. Like, man, this is going to be Randy Orton, man. We're not going to see Punk. Then when I seen it, it was like Wild Things started playing. Like, nah, dog. Hold on, man.
You forced yourself into thinking it was going to be Rollins. You're like, no, it's probably definitely going to be Rollins. Like, no, it's Punk.
Nah, dog. That music hit. Nah, dog. Vibes was restored, bro. I was like, oh, nah. We're back, buddy. Runs down to the ring, comes down, gets his they all lined up, run the new bloodline out, tandem offense from the Usos and Sammy's, which
super
looked fire.
kick in, it's looking great. I loving it.
The way this whole sequence was executed was great. Those three together, getting the rest of the guys out of the ring, and that leaves just Roman and Punk in the ring. They get attacked. They do the tandem, GTS. Bro, listen. I was here. We're back, buddy. I was sitting there. They got up slow and did the stare down. And initially this didn't hit the net, but I was watching it because, of course, I had to watch it to review it. So I was watching it closely and reading their lips of they got close enough and Roman's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, saving your ass. And he goes, this ain't about you and me. It's about him. I'm only here from him. And Paul the entire time has the most devious smirk.
That smile,
ever on his face. And he's just like, nah. And so Heyman goes, but he's my wise man. Punk goes, we'll see.
We'll see.
Credits roll. Yo,
we'll see is the last thing. It was pretty good.
Listen, man. I had to go through a lot when this guy was down and out, when he was off TV and Roman was up. Roman fans was kicking a lot of dirt on my guy. When he was ready to come back, when he was ready to come back in 2021, Roman was getting his shots off, man. He was in that Helwani interview getting his digs in. That guy ain't a needle mover. He ain't explosive. He ain't nothing. He was never as big as John Cena. In 2020,
created a shirt off of his back, dog.
Got on
needle
TV
shirt.
with the needle mover shirt. That popped when Punk came out, brother. Sure seemed like he was a needle mover to me. And not just that, you needed him.
You needed him.
Buddy.
It's just a lot of layers to that because the Roman's whole thing when people would ask about CM Punk, would you ever want to see CM Punk back in AEW and WWE? Roman would be like, we don't need that fool. I don't need him. We don't need him over here. I'm doing this.
The whole thing. So of course his response is exactly what you would think, but everything he's been saying this whole time. So he was just like, "What are you doing here?" Because they haven't interacted at all since Punk has been back. You've only seen him interact with Paul Heyman. Everybody's been bringing up their interaction from the Chicago show, Allstate Arena, where Heyman's like, "No, save me from these guys. They're a problem." Roman never showed up to help him, but in that time when Heyman was away, the other person that was off TV, probably canoodling and having phone calls with him, was Punk. There's so many things that I loved about this. When it went off the air and they showed the part at the end when they all turn around and put the ones up, and Punk is the only one he does to go to sleep, because Paul Heyman is a very smart guy, because, again, Roman has been very selfish in all of this. I don't think that Paul Heyman came back to help Roman. I think he came back for revenge on Solo. So he was like, I need my equalizer. I need to bring somebody into this who is loyal only to me. He doesn't care about the rest of these guys. And I need somebody that is indifferent to both parties. Like, even if Punk hates Roman, he'll do this as a favor for me. Everybody on this roster hates him. But Punk is also a guy that hasn't been here for the past 3 years. So he doesn't have the same history with the bloodline. So it's like, yeah, I'll do that for you as a favor. But I'm here for you. I don't care about Roman. I don't care about the rest of these people. And that's exactly where I think Paul Heyman is. He has no allegiance to any of them. I think he's just like, now I want revenge on this guy, but I don't trust Roman.
I feel like that's why he was smirking so hard when Roman's like, oh, that's my wise man. And Heyman's like, motherfucker, I'm here to get revenge on Solo and these fools who put me through a table and with my guy who I made a lot of money with, and I'm getting out of here. I don't know what you think this is.
Bro, that smirk behind him. When they were that, just the way that was framed of them doing the stare down and he's in the middle behind the ropes, rubbing his hands together like dance, puppets dance.
Yes.
This is Paulie at his best.
He's done this for years. Pit the two guys, pit Raven and Tommy Dreamer against each other. Oh yeah, that motherfucker hates you. Sabu and Taz. Oh yeah, fuck that fool. He hates you. He's doing the same type of thing. I'm sure that Punk is like, hey, what's up with your boy Roman? And Heyman's like, that fool ain't my boy. What do you mean? I'm down with you.
It's business. I was next to him because of business. He was champion.
Yep. He was the champ.
We had a good run. It was the same when Punk was champion. After he wasn't champion anymore, Heyman turned on him.
Heyman does that. When Heyman was with Brock Lesnar lost the championship. He was with Big Show. Big Show lost the championship back to Brock Lesnar. Back to, you know what I mean? Like,
listen,
as soon as this guy's lose the champion, he's out. That's his deal.
Listen, Paulie for the streets, bro.
Yeah, bro. Who got the most money? Who got the big belt? That's where Paulie gonna be at.
Paulie is for the streets, bro. Trying to tell you.
He is not loyal. He like, oh, you lost your belt? You lost all your money? I'm out.
I'm out of here, dog. Good luck with that.
I think we're just going off some laurels and some because we're friends. Nah, dog. I'm here for the championships.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, when I think about all the timing of this, Thanksgiving weekend, almost 10 years ago, we got possibly the most influential episode of a wrestling podcast, Art of Wrestling podcast. CM Punk on this podcast, airing his grievances from leaving this company. We got the infamous line that has lived on the internet for the past 10 years. It is very much baked into Roman's career and his issues with this guy. Make Roman look strong.
Yep.
10 years later, Thanksgiving weekend, this guy is on a poster next to Roman Reigns, teaming up with him in a War Games match, going up against Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. What world do we live in, dog? Like, what is this?
None of it makes sense. When you post, I didn't see SmackDown before you had posted that the flyer with them all on it, and like my eyes couldn't even process. I'm like, wait, that's Punk on there? Like, it doesn't look right. Like, these guys were like entrenched in a feud, it felt like, for a long time, not on TV. These guys are just talking shit to each other anytime they saw each other. And so for that to, it's just so many layers. Like, AEW played a role in this, like this one, WrestleMania, Paul Heyman, like all these things are just hilarious, and like all these dots are now connected. And AEW and WWE gets the big War Games match. It's like,
bro,
wow.
You know how funny it is that, and this is very dark humor. I don't think a lot of people will find this funny. You know how funny it is that podcast dropped 10 years ago. They then, as a company, spent years tying this guy up in court about this. It ruined his friendship with Colt Cabana. He's not friends with that guy no more. He's back over here with the doctor that was part of the lawsuit, still working for the company. And this could end up in a place where if we get Punk versus Roman, they could potentially quote things said on that podcast in this fucking feud.
Said lawsuit-ridden podcast, and they're gonna probably be quoting it. It's layers to this, man. It's crazy.
This is very funny on.
People
so
hated
many
Roman
levels.
for a long time in the beginning of his thing because of Punk and the foundation that he laid on him. It's like, oh, this guy's being force fed because of what Punk's saying that they are force feeding him to us.
This is so funny on so many levels, and the idea that in all of this, the guy that has been telling us for 2 weeks now, I hate that guy. I'm not going to stand next to him. And the other guy that I possibly hate even more than him is now on that team standing next to him. Rollins is at home throwing chairs against a wall.
Rollins is like, does anybody else see this shit?
Bro, I could be off. I've been telling you guys for weeks, months, close to a year at this point.
Yep.
Punk Rollins is the match. And I still think that could be a match. But even longer than a year, we've been doing this podcast for 3 years, right?
Yep.
For 3 years, I've been telling you guys, Roman versus Rollins is the match. Rollins wants that match. It makes all the sense in the world for them to do this match. I think that Rollins got screwed out of his chance to have that main event in Dallas. I think it should have been Roman versus Rollins at WrestleMania 38.
Yep.
It wasn't. He finally got his main event tag match across from Roman Reigns. But I still feel like every time these guys get involved in anything, there's sprinkles of things that show you, oh no, this is more interesting. Going into the main event this year, I felt like there were several things that happened where I was like, oh, Roman Rollins is the one-on-one match. Like, this is cool, but it should be this. Buddy, I'm back on my agenda. Get me back, buddy. Listen, Seth versus Rollins makes all the sense in the world, but buddy, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins is teed up right there. If they don't do this match, listen, I know we all think Rock is coming back. I know we got all the hints for it, buddy. If Rock is not there, if for some reason he gets busy, something else happens here, that's the match, dog. It's right there. All of this building out of this.
People clamored for the Shield 3-way for so long, and they said that should have main evented a WrestleMania. I feel like Rollins and Roman is an inevitable WrestleMania main event, and one that we should get to sooner rather than later.
Dog. There have been multiple times where I have got my shit off here, and I've been proven right about something. Again, about as long as we've been podcasting together, I've been saying Roman versus Rollins. Give this guy his match. He was owed a rematch after Royal Rumble. The guy ducked him for a whole year, gave all these other bums match, gave Brock another match. You knew Brock was losing that match. They went a year of trying to do this unified title thing. You knew that wasn't going to work. He deserved his match then. You gave him the other belt. Still keeping my guy over there, not giving him the match, ducking him. Now you want him to team up and help you win a War Games match. Shame on me for saying that my guy should have done. Fuck all that. Give him his match. Give him his one-on-one match. I think he's going to end up proving right about all of this. I think we're going to come out of this War Games match. We're going to see that Roman Reigns has not changed. Bro, I said it on Blue Sky. If he gets that Olafala back at the end of this, if all of this is leading to this guy getting that Olafala back around his neck and everybody around Solo looking around like, it's been real. We got to follow the real guy now. Everybody's going to look around like we've been duped. We just helped you get back in power, and you're going to do exactly what you've always done, manipulate and use people. And Rollins is going to be sitting around saying, I told you. Listen, it's up from here, man. Whatever we get out of this, Seth versus Rollins, Roman versus Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
It's up here for me, man. All I need is my guy to stay healthy for the next few months. Keep that knee intact. We're heading back, man. Give this guy his main event. It was cool. I was there. I seen him in a tag match.
I am nervous for Punk in this match, though. There's a lot of moving elements. Last time we saw him in a multi-person match, it didn't end up the greatest. So I hope that he stays safe in this War Games match because there's a lot of things that could happen injury-wise. So shout out to the homie coming back for a big War Games match.
I do think that it's very telling how much that Hell in a Cell match changed things for him because people were like, yo, this guy might be cooked.
Yeah.
That Hell in a Cell match was one of the best matches this year, and it changed the opinion of a lot of people coming into this match. And so now there were people looking around like, oh, Rollins would be cool. But now we just seen what this guy did in the Plunder match 2 months ago. Oh, that adds so much more to this. Now Punk in there, unhinged Punk in this match. Give it to me. Again, I hate how we got here. I think the execution, not the best. But listen, my guy being able to get in that ring with a guy that's been getting his shit off for 3 years and say, no, you need me. I'm here because I got the call. You need me. I love it. The smugness of him sitting there like, you don't know what this is. Me and Paulie, we've been at this longer than you. You don't understand because Punk understands. He knows Paulie has no allegiance to nobody.
Mm-hmm. He'll turn his back on anybody for the money.
Yes. What a fun night of wrestling. Did not expect that cliffhanger. Very excited for where this is going to go. And I do still think my guy is coming for championship gold as well. That is another thing that makes this even more funny for me. Not just where this leaves Rollins as a character to stand around at some point and say, I told you so. But when I think about CM Punk, before he had that historic WWE championship run, long-time WWE championship, 2-time Money in the Bank winner, both times he cashed in on the big gold belt.
Mm-hmm.
Current belt is an homage to that belt. And he's been saying for months now, hey, Gunther, come out and play.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther ain't looking like he used to be, bro. He looking wild backstage, letting Damian run wild on him. It's only a matter of time. I think that Punk is coming for that belt.
Totally. Yeah. I don't think we get to the end of 2025 without Punk being World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes. If it's not by the end of this year, it's coming.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. That was a Phil segment right there. They bought Punk. He gonna be in the thing. Phil's gonna be on the post show for Survivor Series too. Yeah.
That's right. I will be on the post show for Survivor Series with the team for Collision next week. All of the Saturday people, except Reg.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
But yeah, nah.
I'm not gonna be there, Magic Johnson. Yeah, exciting stuff. I thought that on Ask Grapsody, Phil and I were like, Rollins is gonna be there, you guys. It's happening. Like the story is leading to that, and so this was a actual surprise. When I saw that last night, I was like, damn, that's crazy. And then the Paulie Pop, all of it was like very captivating television. It's good stuff.
Paulie Pop was great, and my main annoyance was what they've been doing and rushing through, adding all of these people that are forgiving Roman to this. Is that this whole idea that they're just going to throw him in at the last minute, the day of? No, I think this worked way better because we got to stare down, and I do think we're going to get either a promo or an interaction with them next week. They'd be foolish not to do it. That's the money thing. These guys have been taking jabs at each other for 10 years.
Yeah, this was going to go for a while. They got some story to tell with these guys.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I still will never get over Punk shooting on Hangman on the other channel and going, stop me when I'm telling lies. A few days later, Roman right in the camera, you are lying.
So good. They better
So
address all
much
this.
history, man. There's so much there's so much material here. At one point, people on Twitter were like, "Well, everybody doesn't know they hate each other. Why would they not like each other in character, dog?" If you know anything about wrestling, if you've been following wrestling for the past 10 years, you know that this is baked into wrestling, their tension with each other. The reasons Punk left the company, again, infamously make Roman look strong, bro. Nah, there's no way these guys are just going to get along.
And storyline wise, Paul Heyman, dude, like that's the glue that holds these guys together. Like even if you don't want to believe any of the backstage stories or any of the stuff we're talking about, Paul Heyman, he was famously with these two guys for most of their greatest championship run. That's a story in itself.
Yeah, I think what would be really funny as well, talking about Rollins, is we saw Rollins last year in the War Games. Afterwards, his reaction to Punk's return and him standing at the top of the ramp. I think it would be the ultimate irony if the baby faces win this thing and his music hits and he's standing at the top of the ramp watching this, and then he just turns around and walks away.
Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins kind of have the same kind of thing. They're like, you guys are not, I don't know why you guys are being so dumb. We all were there getting destroyed for 4 years. Why are you guys all just in this, we're cool now, let's be friends, let's tag up together? It's weird.
Yeah.
So let's get into a few super chats before we get up out of here. Formerly known as KTS says Bronson plus Bloodline equals OAX, Oceania American Exchange.
I guess.
Shout out to the gang. Shout out to them getting together.
Yeah. Speaking of Kevin Owens, how great was this segment last night? Kevin Owens, man.
I loved it.
One of the best characters in the company. He was fantastic. His reasoning for all of this was like, listen, I'm right. Why are you guys all acting like I'm wrong here? I'm right to be mad at this guy. This is all his fault.
Yep. And these are the reasons why. I was there at WrestleMania 39. I was there at WrestleMania 40. I was trying to help you fight this guy, and then you're going to go up and team with him? The guy that tried to end my career? What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. And Cody's like, Cody didn't even have a rebut, honestly. Like, what do you say to that?
Well, did he not? Because I thought his response was very strong. His response, there were bits of it where Kevin Owens was sitting there seething. Like you can tell, like when you get into an argument with a friend and they're getting so mad that you can almost see them getting ready to cry. Not because they're like, their feelings are hurt, but they're just that emotional and angry about it. But when he was telling him like, yo, this is on you. You are the poster child for self-sabotage. You have the world in your palm. You're still acting like I should be in this picture. Bro, you are synonymous with this company. I was like, dog, you've main evented WrestleMania 2 years in a row.
That's fact.
He has a point.
Yeah, he does. He did have a point. He didn't have a point with the Randy Orton shit, but that he did have a point.
Yeah. No, the thing that he was right with the Randy Orton thing was like, yo, you're mad at me. You hate me. So you pile drive somebody else? Are you mad at me? Or you're mad at Randy Orton? Or are you mad that you didn't pile drive me in that match and win the match like you should have? And I was like, damn, well, he's right. If you wouldn't have just kept waiting around and trying to be nice, if you would have just took the chance and went for that knee and did what you should have did and tried to hurt this man and take his belt, you would be champion right now. You have nobody else to blame but yourself.
And they still didn't announce when the fucking match is, though.
That's weird. Very weird.
Man. Cody's like, whether it's at War Games or at tonight or at Saturday Night Main Event, I'm like, Cody, man, tell us when the match is.
I was dying laughing because I was like, yo, if the wrestler don't know when the match is.
Right, exactly.
How am I supposed to know where the match is?
Cody's going through his date book trying to figure it out, and they have not told him.
It's somewhere. We gonna wrestle somewhere.
These are the shows we have lined up. It could be on one of these. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out too. Hey, what's over there says Dustin mentioned that AEW should do its own version of WWE ID. If they did, I think a guy like Alex Kane and Fred Yehai should be picked. I think they both
Fred
have
Yehai,
MLW
man.
ties, though.
Fred Yehai is very, very underrated. I'm so surprised he's not signed anywhere. But he's kind of in that conversation. We just saw the announcement that Kylie Ray got a WWE ID contract, and in one side, great for her. She's tried out multiple times. Great that they are giving her the opportunity. I could see some of the reservations with her. They want to see how committed she is, but at the same time, this is a wrestler that has experience, that has wrestled on TV for TNA and AEW. Why don't you just sign this woman? Like, why are you at WWE ID? And Fred Yehai has the same thing. Sign this guy, man. Like, all of this, trial period, sign that guy, dog. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't get why. Like, Kylie Ray, I understand, like, reservations and things, but this is like a TV-ready star right here. Like, I've seen her recently, and I was like, oh, Kylie Ray still got it. Like, she can still be exactly who they need her to be right now. So, like, her being announced isn't surprising to me at all, but I'm just like, when they were like, we got a big one coming up, too, I didn't think it would be Kylie Ray, because I think Kylie Ray would be given the contract to go and do this shit already, you know?
Yeah. But regardless, happy for her. Hopefully this works out for her. It is just kind of funny that they do this thing all the time where, oh, look, we discovered this wrestler that has already has an illustrious career for herself, and we're trying to make it seem like she's a prospect.
Yeah. Kylie Ray ain't no damn prospect. Homie Aaron Busby says, what's interesting is the OG Bloodline aren't reunited for Roman. Only reason Jay is there is for his brother, Sammy's there for Jay, and Punk is there for a favor to Heyman.
Yeah. Roman is going to turn around at some point, and they're all going to be staring out a window at Motown USA like the Temptations, letting him know, no, we don't want nothing to do with you. And he's going to be like, you know what I did for y'all? I made y'all. Y'all ain't nothing but a fake bloodline without me.
Yeah, see, I at least want to hear that, though, because Roman ain't said no accountability. He ain't said nothing. Like, I want to see you show some emotions to this, you know?
Yeah. But I do think that he doesn't care because he's planning to just take Solo's crew.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, what's over there says Paul Heyman has turned his back on Brock for Big Show. If Roman think Paul got him, he's a big dumb. And shout out to KO for being consistent in his views about Cody.
Yes. He's been incredibly entertaining. I'm telling you, that promo in the car the other week where he's just like, this is so unfair. I didn't do anything wrong. I just did my job, and they're telling me I can't come to work. But now they want me to come to work because Cody Rhodes wants me to be there. And nobody can disappoint Cody Rhodes. Nobody can disappoint. Yeah, he was going crazy.
Yeah, he was going wild. I love when he gets into that voice and that kind of yelly mode. He got into it last night where he's so frustrated and he just wants to yell, but he's trying to keep it together. It's so good. He's such a good everything.
Love Kevin Owens, man.
One of the best ever. Alexander Fitzgerald said, really need Roman to make Punk look strong.
Well done.
Very good stuff, Alexander. And then hey, what's over there says, I'm surprised that Fred hasn't been signed by TNA. Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like he's been doing some work with New Japan too. I'm surprised he's not on New Japan Strong like he used to be. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't understand why they're not using him more.
He did tweet some wild stuff, I think. Maybe now that I'm remembering. I don't know what.
I didn't see that.
Depends on what side of, see.
I didn't see that. So
yeah, I think that's what it was. Because when Mike and I did the show this week, somebody recommended we watched a Fred Yehai Iron Man match, and I was like, I think Fred Yehai, but I didn't want to say anything. I still don't really remember because there's a reason that he's not cooking like he used to. I think that's why.
Dang. Fred liked the Linkin Park album too.
I mean, you just watch the matches and don't. Try to get us out of here, man. Come on. And then Haywood's over there also says, at the end of all this, Roman is about to be like Alonzo at the end of training day. A day I'm surprised KO didn't drop a Matt and Nick were right about you, Cody reference. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, there's so many layers to the Kevin Owens and self-sabotage stuff. Like, there's some undertone to that. I don't know if people picked it up. You've been saying for the longest, I want to be the man here. They've given you the ball and run with it. You're synonymous with this company. And if you don't think what you're getting is good here, you could have left. You made the decision to stay here.
Yep.
You can say what you want about me. I went away and made them respect me. You're still here complaining.
Mad at me for being world champion.
Why are you mad at me? Because I did what you couldn't do, and then you weren't willing to do what you needed to do to put me away and take my belt.
Right.
Who are you really mad at?
Who are you really mad at, KO? Steven Marcusili says, I think the story has hit a point with Roman turning heel back in power. You all fell for it, etc. promo.
Yeah, I definitely think he's manipulating people. And I did an article for Bleach Report this week where it questions how much he's really changed. And I do think that, again, I think Rollins is going to be sitting around at the end of this like, I told you guys. He hasn't changed at all.
It's going to work out. I think that's what's going to happen. And then Hassan Batla says, I doubt it, but I want to see some Bullet Club love in WWE with Tama, Finn, AJ, etc. Probably not. I wouldn't count on that.
No, what they doing with Finn, dog?
Yeah, what are they doing with Finn? They've been champions for like 5 years and only defended the belts one time. Like, what's going on here? What's with this?
I hate it so much.
Why are they doing that?
That's another thing that I feel like SmackDown is currently doing better. They're currently doing better with their SmackDown tag division. And it's a low bar because they still could do much more with tag team wrestling over there. But at least they're doing.
At least the tag teams are fucking featured and on TV and defending the championships. You know what I mean? It's way different.
Yeah.
That's all of our super chats, though. Appreciate y'all.
I believe we have one last humper chat. We're going to get out of here. It's from Javier from Texas. He says, thanks for filling my long work hours with great content. Love the Grapsody shows. And you guys review shows with your Latino counterparts this week. LOL. Yeah, there's an ongoing joke. Homie Alex from the post show on SmackDown. I started it by saying, guys, sorry, Kate is not here. Of course, I'm not Kate. I'm Phil Lindsey. I am not a white blonde woman, but you're stuck with me this week. And so Alex is like, no, you should totally put that on a shirt. I was like, I don't know how to explain wearing a shirt that says I'm not a white woman.
I'm not a white woman is some circles are not going to get it.
No. But if you do want merch, Grapsody.bigcartel.com, where you can get a hoodie like homie Righteous Reg in purple. Also have a hoodie on.
Yes.
I believe this color is bone. Get your bone, 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 bone.
Tell me what you gonna do.
Yeah. Hoodies, matching hats are available on Grapsody.bigcartel.com. Still
hoodies
have
are super comfortable. I just put that shit on and keep it on, and it's kept me warm in this fucking bomb cyclone. It's dope. Get you one.
Yeah. Multiple colors. We still have our first run of hats that are available on there. Sometimes I look at pictures of stuff with me in a hat. I'm like, nah, the hat came out kind of clean.
Mm-hmm.
But
Phil Lindsey was in there cooking.
Appreciate you guys as always. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey, Righteous Reg. Catch my man on Denise Salcedo's YouTube channel doing a watch along of Full Gear. But we'll be back next week.
Peace.
Mustard.